Man, we don't even watch men's. I don't even know. I don't know 2 players in men's college basketball.
I only keep up with Cincinnati. They actually doing well. They lost barely
They
to Kansas
lost last night.
Yeah,
They should have won
barely,
that game.
Yeah, they barely lost, but they doing much better than what they used to.
What they used to? They had, didn't Huggins just leave?
Bro, Huggins
was
gone,
at West Virginia.
Huggins been gone.
Huggins was at West
Went to
Virginia.
about 3 coaches since then.
Hey,
Nah,
Ken,
but
the gain kind of high.
Say what?
The gain kind of high. That's why I can hear that slight buzz.
Okay.
I
Daisy
mean, he
Kelly.
can rock out unless somebody say something. I'm probably the only one that can hear it.
Daisy
find
Kelly.
Daisy
What
Kelly.
you
Oh,
see
the mic sound. Where you hear that? On the live or what?
Yeah, inside
Or just here?
I can hear. I mean, it's whatever I hear is what they gonna hear too. So I know that it's probably
You are the only. Do y'all hear that?
I don't hear nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably just a me thing. Yeah,
That's crazy, bro. I don't hear anything.
Oh, I am. Wait, hold on. How old are you, Jalen?
I'm 29.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. They said after you hit 30, you can't hear certain things, bro. Real talk. Real talk.
That's
It
true.
is
That
real talk,
true.
though.
Yeah.
But nah,
Jalen got an audio background though, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
do.
I got all that.
AB be doing
Nah,
that shit. AB will do that shit too. Like, man,
That was a
Nah,
good one.
I trust Jalen because he in that little panic room right now. I don't know where the hell he is right now, but he can hear he can hear a mouse piss on cotton in that motherfucking room.
Yeah,
But everybody says it sounds good, right? So let's do a quick mic check. We are live right now. So Spike,
Mic check, mic check.
all right. Shelton,
Mic check 1 2 1
FIFO,
2.
Yo.
all right. And Nick,
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Jalen.
Mike check. I ain't gonna be on long. I'm just here.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. Everybody, I think we good to go. I think we are good to go. So that's dope. But yeah, damn, that's crazy. You can hear that though. But I sometimes the audio on YouTube comes in a little low. So, I just have it turned up sometimes, but I think we good. Reinforcements. I didn't call any reinforcements here.
Who are your reinforcements?
Just
Who would
Rob. Anyway,
Who would need the reinforcement?
Q's going to be on with us later on, so I sent him the link. You got to give him a chance
he?
to set up.
You should have called this Nick and Friends. You know who about to like that show up.
So, but yeah, he'll pop up. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead End Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Beans. Joining me on the show, we have FIFO.
What it do? Hey, look,
There he is
before you
right
go
there,
to the next
bro.
person, I want to give a shout out to Brandon in the probate court downtown Atlanta. He's an avid fan. I went over there to get a copy of my marriage certificate, and he was like, yo, I know you. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you watch YouTube? And he was just like kind of, and I was like, yo, I'm going to shout you out. So shout out to Brandon, man.
What's up, brother? Can you get tickets and stuff waived?
Okay.
Oh, it's the Q dog. Oh, shit.
What up, Q?
Q dog.
What's up? What's good?
All right.
happening, Q?
Shelton?
What's
what
happening?
up, brother? Spike?
What up, though?
What up? So yeah, man, Final Four of football. We got a packed house tonight, as everyone can see. So man, we are not going to delay the festivities tonight. We're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So we're glad you guys are on board with the shout out to Adrian Wells, who has been a member for 27 months. So salute.
Hey,
Appreciate you,
Salute.
bro.
Salute. We appreciate the support. For real. It was a hell of a weekend, fellas. It was a hell of a weekend.
Best weekend.
A lot of good games except one, but it was good for half of the game. But yeah, we still are in the NFL playoffs. As usual, we go live, do an instant reaction, post-game reaction to the games that have been played that day. And we went live for that and all the other good stuff. So we thank you guys for joining that. People be showing up for those. So we got about 2 more weekends left. At least one I know for sure, because I don't know what's going to happen with the Super Bowl. We might not be going live after the Super Bowl, y'all. But let's not bury the lead. The Buffalo Bills lost a close game to the Kansas City Chiefs at home. The question that I'm reading,
Don't do that, Ken. Just read the question. Just read the question. You ain't even got to free it. Don't try to cook it up.
you got to frame it up.
Is Josh Allen the new Phillip Rivers? And I think I need to move that TV from this shot. But yeah, is Josh Allen the new Phillip Rivers? Whatever that means.
Nah.
No, what that means is, can he win the big game? Because Phillip Rivers obviously played in the era of Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. He could just never get over that hump. He could beat one, but not both. Is he that new guy? The record may say that he might be. Because let's be honest, the big, I think when it comes to quarterbacks, there's a big four, and all four of them are on the AFC: Lamar, Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen. So he may be stuck in an era where it's going to be difficult to get over that hump because he's playing against three other perennial MVP candidates. I think it may be tough. I think this is the most complete team that he's played on. They finally addressed the run game with James Cook. He's a rookie, ain't he?
Nah, it's the second year.
Second year. But he finally came on this year, better than David Singletary. You know what I'm saying? He moved on. I want to say he played for the Texans now. But
The ballin', too.
yeah, who, Cook or Singletary?
Singletary.
Both of them.
Yeah, they was both nice, but Cook is a better player at this point
for this team.
For this team,
That's true.
But let's be honest, man. I've been calling it all year. I thought that they were going to implode. They were able to survive the Josh Allen turnovers, but at this point, how much better can that team be? Is it a coordinator thing? Is it a scheme thing? Because let's be honest, like Josh Allen is elite. He is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Elite.
I won't say
when
that.
you're top 5, top 5, you're elite.
He's absolutely elite.
What makes him?
He's elite.
He's absolutely, he's elite.
He has arguably the strongest arm in the league. Arguably.
What has that done for him?
This team would be
Well,
six.
he got to the AFC playoffs damn near every year.
This team
That's what it done for him.
This team would be 6-11 without Josh
Oh,
Allen.
100%.
And the reason that I don't think that he's Rivers is because Rivers was the benefit of being on a team with all world players. Like if you can remember all the teams that got at least to the AFC Championship,
Antonio
when they were
Gates,
successful.
LaDainian Tomlinson,
Hall of Famers.
Who
You
is
talking
his
about-
wideout though?
He didn't have. I was about to say you over here hyping, Lou. I was just about to cut you off until you said that goofy shit.
Yeah,
They were Hall of Fame team. I mean, he had Hall of Famers on the roster.
Well, yeah,
defense and offense. And I'm saying that Phillip Rivers wasn't the best player on that team. Where I would say that he is different, Josh Allen. That is, Josh Allen is carrying this team. He may not be able to beat. Like we got to admit, Patrick Mahomes is Michael Jordan. Like it's gonna take a lot to beat him, and it's not Josh Allen. When Josh Allen walk in there with a stacked team, though, he may have a better chance. But he ain't got the stacked team now. If they depended on Josh Allen to put the team on their back and, hey, take us to Kansas City or even win in Buffalo against Patrick Mahomes, that's probably never going to happen.
And let's be honest, right? Like this game, outside of that fumble, what other mistake did he really make? Like he dropped some dimes.
Great game.
Outside of the fumble, what are we talking
Did you
about?
not see Diggs run across the middle wide open?
I also saw Diggs miss a
Drop
bomb.
a bomb that would have won that will put them in position to win the game.
I'm gonna go last. Sheldon, you go ahead because these niggas just making excuses at this point. This is not what the
No,
fans
no,
think.
no,
Wait.
He
wait,
lost the
wait.
game.
All I said, you asked me
Lost the game.
was he Phillip Rivers?
Yep.
Josh Allen is a lot better than Phillip Rivers.
Is he?
And he was
What-
on.
is-
And Phillip
is his
Rivers
record
was on,
better?
Phillip Rivers was on a much better football team, from head coach to a punter.
But you
I
say
think-
that you. Hey, Sheldon, correct me if I'm wrong. Was the Bills not the number 2 seed in the AFC in a division
were.
in a conference that we just talked about has the best quarterbacks in the
We were
league?
talking about
They
them
were.
not making the playoffs.
They were.
They had to
Okay.
fire their offensive coordinator
were-
midway through the season. We were talking about the Bills potentially not making the playoffs, and that's because they depend on Josh Allen too much.
And Lou, let me ask me. Can you ask me this question? Who was the favorites going into that game? Vegas odds.
Who was at home?
The
I
Bills.
would assume the second seed.
Bills.
I would assume the second seed would be the favorite.
Okay, so you're telling me all that, but you're saying that he wasn't on a stacked team. It's not correlating with me. Like, how are you the number 2 seed and a favorite by Vegas odds, and Vegas is more accurate than not? And you're telling me now that you're making excuses as far as why they came up short.
We're talking about you talking about the Bills' success. I'm talking about Josh Allen's talent. We're talking about, is he better than Phillip Rivers? Yes, he's a lot better. Now you're adding in, his team was favorite or they were the second seed. That's because of Josh Allen.
The reason why I bring up the whole Phillip Rivers thing is not based off of exact quarterback comparison. I'm just talking about career wise. As far as no matter what you put around, or I'm just talking about at this point in his career.
At the same point of his career.
We're talking about at this point in his career. That and I'm saying projecting foretelling the future because the AFC just got harder. We just found out that CJ Stroud is a franchise QB. You know what I'm saying? We're finding out more about the AFC, and it's more deeper than we thought. And that's still excluding if Harbaugh goes to the Chargers. We'll see what he could do with Justin Herbert. Maybe Doug Peterson can figure out with Trevor Lawrence going into next season. Like there's QBs that are coming up and that are, or if not already there, that Allen has to go through. So
but let me ask you this,
Aaron Rodgers was hurt this year, and he's in his division.
He's truly
talented,
bro.
But Aaron Rodgers, let's be honest, like he's way off of the
he's somebody he got to go
quarterback.
He's still somebody he has
but he's
to go
on the
through.
decline. I do not hear him anymore.
He just knocked him out.
Oh, what happened?
You can't hear.
We can't hear Nick.
Oh damn!
Hold on one second, Nick. You
Talk,
sound
because you
went out.
sound like you were agreeing with.
I do in the sense that once again, you look at Phillip Rivers' career, he's talented too. Now, Josh Allen may have more talent than Phillip Rivers,
May?
but when it comes, I mean, he does. He's a talented quarterback.
Okay.
But when it comes to winning games, wins and losses,
Yeah.
what has he done that Phillip Rivers didn't do? And it's always something.
Well,
we
his
can't
career
say
isn't over.
We
Like,
can't.
I hate
No.
that y'all making me coming on here and apologize with Josh Allen. Like y'all trying to pile on like his career is over. He's losing to the best player that we've possibly ever seen play the position consistently. You can't fault the man.
So you
for
can't
that.
mention him in the
It's
same
like you,
breath
it's
as
like
that
you saying,
player.
oh man, well, it's the same argument that you get against Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Clyde Drexler, and those guys for not winning the championship. Yeah, Jordan was playing.
Right, and they're talented, but you can't mention them in the same breath as Jordan, and that's what
You can't mention
half
Josh
of
Allen
media
in
is
the
trying to
same
do.
breath as Patrick. You can't mention anybody in the same breath.
Well,
as
and,
Patrick.
there's only one.
and that's
Tom Brady.
that's
One.
that's
It's two
my
lists. It's
that's my
Patrick
thing.
Mahomes and then it's everybody else.
That's my thing, but that's what the media tries to do. They try to paint this picture like it's his fault. I mean, like he's the same level. It's the team's fault. He doesn't have it. It's always some type of excuse that they make for him.
So for me,
and there is none for me.
For me, when you're looking at from a talent perspective, can you make an argument they're on the same level? Yes, but when you come to the result, the result of the game, the result of your career, the result of your record, like you said, it's Pat Mahomes and everybody else. This nigga has been in 6 straight years. He's been in the league 7 years. He started for 6 years in the league. All 6 times he's played no less than the AFC Championship game.
Correct.
That's and then this is his first role playoff game. That is ridiculous. We're never going to see what we're witnessing right now.
And he's got 3 losses in the playoffs. One was in the Super Bowl, and the other 2 went overtime. Like he a different dude. We can't judge Josh Allen on beating Patrick Mahomes. Like that's not fair.
That makes no fucking sense.
Dude, I got a question.
Yeah, we can.
I have one quick question, man. Are we
Yes, sir.
gonna also say that when last year he lost to the Bengals?
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna say that too. The Bengals win the Super
Another
Bowl
thing,
2 years ago.
One more thing, and I know that this is a if, but this is sports, yo. If Mike Tomlin has any type of a functional QB, does he even make it out of the game last week? You know what I mean? Like these are very questionable scenarios. I'm not even saying that he's not an elite QB because I do think he is elite, but there's elite and then there's certified Hall of Fame and that's first ballot Patrick Mahomes. So is he in a Phillip Rivers situation? He could be because Tom Brady was the
go to the Hall
guy.
of Fame.
He might do.
Who?
Phillip Rivers gonna go to the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that was only a certainty towards the latter half of his career. Tom Brady, by the time he was in his 5th, 4th season, we were like, oh, he's going to theAll of Fame. Phillip Rivers had to really climb that mountain. You know
Not
what I mean?
necessarily.
Well-
Phillip Rivers was good day one.
Here's the thing that I took away from this. It wasn't about Phillip Rivers or anything like that. I was thinking about, shit, you may be old enough to remember. I know Kyle is. When the Bills went to all those Super Bowls.
Yeah.
With Frank Wright.
Yep.
Yeah. That's all I'm thinking about. It's
Kelly
like,
I mean, with Jim
Right.
Kelly.
yeah, you're just, it's almost like this team is cursed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
It
to
is.
a certain degree. Like that's a winnable game. Let's I mean, at least to tie it. Let's not even talk about the decision maker. We can get to that. But Tyler Bass misses a field goal that just goes wide right. The crazy thing is, I think they were talking about him having a history of misses too, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're confident that he can get it done." Not so much.
He was 9 for 9 in late game situations.
That was the first Super Bowl that I watched. The Bills versus Giants when he missed it wide right. Scott Norwood.
So just overall, because when Josh Allen was driving down the field, I thought that was it. I just knew they were going to score, especially when he threw that pass to Diggs. Now Diggs should be a damn ashamed of himself. He shouldn't say shit to anybody, for a whole season. He damn sure can't talk about Josh Allen anymore. Q and Nick, what were you guys thinking when you guys were watching that fourth quarter? And when the game just seemed to just stall, and it seemed like the Chiefs had everything going their way, and they just and the Bills just kept catching breaks. What were you guys thinking as they were making that final drive?
You go ahead, Nick.
For me, it was about. I think we kind of underestimate, I think we're kind of glossing over how out of the Chiefs were going to win that game through and through. There were so many mistakes that the Bills made. There was mistakes that the Chiefs made for themselves that kept the Bills in the game. Like all those fumbles, including Josh Allen's, including McCole Hardman's at the goal line. If McCole Hardman just falls on the ground and covers it, like not even do that extra shit. The Chiefs are at the 1 yard line, and I for sure know Pacheco is going to drive it into the end zone, and that's the game over there right there. And then with the fumble with Josh Allen, if the Chiefs, it felt like it was hot potato. They ain't nobody wanted to catch the ball. If they just grab that, the game's over. It's like, and then we get down to the point where Josh Allen doesn't go for the underneath route for Diggs. Which not to say that was going to change the game, but it would at least got him further ahead to where the kicker wouldn't be making trying to make a field goal at the 40 plus. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like there were so many points in that game where you're saying like the Bills are just giving up, or they are just not really as focused as the Chiefs. And Mahomes only threw 23 times. Like that's crazy. Like damn near Allen almost threw twice as much, 39 times. So it's just like Mahomes threw less than Brock Purdy, and that's crazy. Like that's crazy to me. So it's just like to me, it's like the game wasn't really that close except for the score. But it's also just saying like, bro, we talk about the Bills not having a stacked roster. The Chiefs don't have one either. We all season. I was the first nigga on this show to say like the who the fuck is he throwing to? And then on top of that, all we have is a defense of players that we may or may not know outside of Chris Jones, who they're playing well. They're playing very damn near really great this season. But the Chiefs aren't known for defense. We were worried going into this postseason. Can they keep up with the scoring?
We were not worried. We were not worried.
Yeah.
I was worried.
Who's we? Who's we?
I said the Chiefs were gonna do this from jump.
I said the same. Yep.
Because y'all betting against a dude who has that LeBron Jordan type of mind where all he needs is 1 week to prep. And it doesn't matter. It does not matter. I saw it in the Super Bowl.
Before you go, Q, because I know you got to answer the question too. My thing was the reason why I was worried is because we don't know what the Chiefs look like when Patty can't, do his thing on his end. And that's what I was worried.
This to do his thing though.
My thing, I was more so because of the receivers he had. Like I think we were all surprised when Valdez Scanlon caught that ball over his head. Like
I know I was.
That's what I'm saying. Like
when he was that's how I knew. That's when I knew.
Nick, he was surprised.
Exactly. That's what we said. I said that.
But I'm saying,
catching those passes in the postseason.
And I'm saying that's not a guarantee. That wasn't a guarantee for me because I didn't see it happen all season.
It wasn't a guarantee. Look, I came into the season saying Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes, right? And whatever it is, he would be able to overcome. At some point during the middle of the season, I was like, whoa, hold on. The catching ability of everybody is very suspect. But at the end of the day, Pat Mahomes, to Q's point, that he's just built different, right? Like we haven't seen anything like that at quarterback with his level of athletic ability, poise, clutch, all of those check boxes. He checks them all. You know what I'm saying? But going into this, to me, the difference in the game wasn't necessarily the turnovers because to Nick's point, it seemed like the game was, just is in the balance. Who's going to make the play that needed to be made to win the game?
Whoever's going to fuck up first.
But to me, what it came down to, it was the head coaching battle. What you saw is that Andy Reid had who's the head coach? I'm bad with names.
McDermott.
He had McDermott's number. Everything that they wanted to do on defense, the Kansas City Chiefs had an answer. And to Nick's point, He threw less than Brock Purdy. I knew going into it you were going to have to run Pacheco. You were going to have to make the plays that you needed to make, like the MVS in the first half. That was a big play. You know what I'm saying? Get their confidence up and just make the plays down the stretch. And that's what they did. That's no slight to the Bills because, yeah, could he have done this? Could he have done that? Nobody's perfect. Josh Allen played good enough to win that game. But at the end of the day, Mahomes with that cape, bro, like you can't.
Josh Allen should have won that game.
He should have.
He should have won the game. Mahomes, like, I think we saw he scored on 9 of 11 possessions, was 0 for 4 on the last one. The game was there for the taking. After everything that Mahomes did, which was great, that game was still a winnable game, and he could have took it from Mahomes, and he did not. So we would have been singing a different story. That falls on Josh Allen. Josh Allen didn't get it done, and I think that's the difference. But Mahomes had a chance to put the game away, and you know he did what?
He did, right?
No, the defense did.
Oh, okay.
The defense did, and a missed field goal. But what I want to ask. What I want to ask Q and Shelton, was Kadarius Toney out there catching
Absolutely
footballs?
not. Nope.
Was Sky Moore out there catching footballs?
Absolutely not.
Were they the ones that we saw dropping footballs?
Absolutely.
You know, most of the season? Who made that change? Nick, I jumped on Andy Reid all season long about, you're letting this shit happen. In the playoffs and towards the last couple of games, he made the changes he needed to make to get them bums off the field. That's the difference. If I would have saw Rasheed Rice out there catching and McCole Hardman, even though he didn't do shit,
He's a bum.
but it made a hell of a difference between what was on the field and what was this time and what was on the field during the regular season. I stand by everything I felt when I watched them play.
Yeah. Somebody posted on Twitter. I saw on Twitter where they were saying like that's a big blow for the Bills because Kadarius Toney's ruled out. So they were saying like, wow, I felt bad for Nick on that one. But hey, the big key to this game to me was the running game. They ran that ball. Pacheco ran that ball like a champion would run it, and it opened up the passing game. It made it easy, even though Patrick Mahomes throws are easy anyway. It just made it easier to get the ball to those receivers because you had to stop the run. So they had to stack the box, and everybody was paying attention to the run more so than anything else. And those receivers finally made the plays. The only one you had out there that was shaky was, you had Hardman still and MVS, but MVS made the plays. Hardman tried to give it away, but Rasheed Rice came into his own.
What up?
Yeah. Q. I saw a graphic that said that the Bills won every single statistical category except the score. That's crazy to me, bro.
Look, man, I keep trying to tell you, Patrick Mahomes, it don't matter who he got at wide receiver. Like all the conversation and speculation people talk about he could have Patty Hurst at wide receiver. He could have Gloria Velez at wide receiver. It don't matter, bro. It does not matter. It does not matter. If he has 30 seconds left on that clock, that is the game plan. Patrick Mahomes is the system. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Belichick built the system around Brady. Brady built the system for himself and took it to Tampa. Mahomes, from day one, they realized what they had, and all Andy Reid is putting is the X and O's around him, and he's just watching the game unfold the way like a LeBron or Jordan in those last 3 chips did. Where, all right, as long as I got a minute left and we down at least 6 or 3, I'm going to make this happen. It doesn't matter who I have. The problem is that we have Sean McDermott, who does not have a real thorough identity for the Bills. I don't think the problem really is Josh Allen. It's Sean McDermott. I don't see any identity on defense, but besides Poyer and Micah Hyde, which is their strongest suit. And then when we're talking about the running game, that was a revelation this year. That wasn't like something that they built into the offense coming off season. That just happened over time, and they discovered it. So Andy Reid is not this, always known for out coaching other people. He's just known for installing a great offensive system. But the biggest reason why, he doesn't. Well, I'm an Eagles fan. I seen 6 straight NFC Championship games where another coach almost beat Andy Reid every time, and it came down to Terrell Owens. It came down to Brian Dawkins and a great defense. But in terms of
that Andy Reid has
people,
like less than 2 losses, like coming off a bye, right? Like that's out coaching, that's out scheming.
True, but in terms of like the big moments, he don't be out coaching other people. He makes like a good play here and there, and plus when you think it's like
McDermott.
I don't know if that's true because Sean McDermott thought that it was the fucking blind side and tried to run DeMar Hamlin on 4th and like what the fuck is that? Like,
and once again, it's and the kid's point, he didn't out coach him because they had more yards and led in every category. He just didn't get the points.
But I think
that comes down to the
Andy
player.
Reid's
He
strong
didn't
point.
outcoach Sirianni. He didn't
Andy
outcoach
Reid's-
Sirianni last year.
His strong point is his game planning, though. Like y'all say, coming off of bye weeks, his whole career, he's been one of the best game planners since, well, forever. And even speaking to y'all saying that they had more stats, it's because Andy Reid had a better game plan. They think I'm going to come in here and go blow for blow with Josh Allen because I got Mahomes. No, we're going to run Pacheco.
Yep.
Well, that's because that's what he had to
That
do.
was a better game plan.
Exactly.
But it was a better game plan.
Yeah, and the thing about it is the crazy part of this game is that there was still a minute and 20 something seconds left. They still was gonna score. They still was gonna score.
And they had 2 timeouts.
I had no doubts. I was like, okay, he better get the ball back, drive it down, and be the hero. He didn't have to be. That's the only thing.
It's something that you said, Q, and I always talk about it regardless of the sport, is identity of the squad. What we saw Andy Reid do is lean into what the identity of this year's Chiefs team is. Not what it was in the past or this, that, or what it could be in the future. We are defense first. We have Mahomes, so we know we're going to be good on O, or at least we know that in the clutch moments we can win, right? We could win those possessions. But let's run the ball. He played to the strength of the identity of this year's Chiefs team. And to your point, Q, what the fuck are the Bills? What's the identity? Yes, you have a great quarterback. Damn, he has to do a lot for y'all niggas to win. But what's the identity? Is it defense? Is it a run game? Like, what's the identity? It was too much Josh Allen all year, and it came back to bite them in the butt, even though they had the better stats.
I got 2 things. Ken, you brought up the fact of Andy Reid coaching adjustments. They seem great now because they won the game. But if that Mecole Hardman play, if they would have lost in that shit, because motherfuckers would have been like, why the hell was Mecole Hardman? He only played 2 games this whole season. Why is he in pivotal moments like that doing goofball shit? That would have came back to bite Andy Reid. And the other thing is too is like, I hate to do this because y'all know how I feel about Patrick Mahomes. He's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. Point blank period. I'll say that first. But let's not act like they've been playing anybody who had good defense this whole playoff run. Miami Dolphins that were basically they got the ambulance crew playing as they secondary, and then this Bills team that y'all mentioned earlier to start the show, they had injuries all over the place. They bringing in linebackers off the couch like Joe Flacco. Like it's really a patchwork team defensively. They about to go play these boys in Baltimore, and they hungry. That's the best defense in the league. So all these, so I'm talking about the receiver stuff that I brought up earlier this season. They about to go face a team that can smack them in the mouth, and not to say they secondary is anything to go home about, but it's more respectable than all the defense they played this year. And I'm curious to think because like for me right now, I'm leaning heavily towards Baltimore to win this the AFC conference this year. Based on this version, because like FIFA, like you said, this version of the Chiefs is supposed to be quote unquote smash mouth football. Good defense, run game, quarterback don't make mistakes because he is the best quarterback in the league. But you're also going against a team whose whole DNA ever before Patty got there was defense, run the ball, quarterback don't make mistakes. We're gonna win a title. But, you know what I'm saying? And this is the best quarterback they've ever had in franchise history as far as Lamar.
No, 100%. But a couple of things. Their defense hasn't been this dominant for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like having the number 1 defense. That's number 1.
You talking about who? The Ravens?
The Ravens. It's been a gap since they've had an elite defense. They obviously was the number 1 defense this year. They're an elite defense. But why are they elite? Because they cause the most pressure. How do they cause the most pressure? By blitzing. Who is the number 1 quarterback against the blitz all time in the history of the NFL? It's Pat Mahomes.
This ain't got nothing to do with Patty, though. That's my
no. Nick,
everything to do with
everything starts and ends with Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Number 2, we're talking about the number 1 blitzing team in the NFL against the number 1 quarterback against the blitz. What do you think is going to happen? He's going to pick them boys apart if that's the game plan. If that is the only game plan. Now, I'm not saying don't blitz them at all. No, if that's part of your identity, you got to stay true to who you are. But you can't blitz 60, 70% of the time.
They're not going to do that. The Baltimore Ravens are a way better defensive. They have a way better defensive scheme than just blitz. They're not the Chiefs. That's what Steve Spagnuolo does. When in doubt, I'll blitz the quarterback. My thing is with Baltimore. Again, the thing has nothing to do with Patty. I came on earlier saying that Patty's the best quarterback I've ever seen. It's his cast that I'm more worried about in that pressure because Rashee Rice is still a rookie, so he ain't never been in this situation before going against them boys. MVS, we don't
That
trust.
defense
Even
was rookies last year.
Who's been
and-
in the situation for Baltimore?
That's what I was gonna say. Baltimore had. That's the only thing
no
with that.
one.
None of them has
Nobody
been there
on
either.
their team.
None of them.
At least,
talking-
at least
I'm
with
talking
Kansas
about- I'm
City,
not
they
talking-
have the experience of having the best player on the field who also happens to have the most experience in these games, and they coach.
Do you know what the
Well,
difference is here? You know what the difference here is, Nick, is when FIFO brought up the fact that who is the identity for Buffalo and what do they do every season? Like, what should their thing be? What makes the Chiefs so dangerous is that it's not even about a year-to-year thing. Patrick Mahomes is the first QB where every week you can change the identity. You can change tendency. Because, all right, let's find a soft spot in the zone. We're going to pick them apart all game. Let's run Pacheco. All right, cool. Let's do checkdowns. Let's go deep. Let's try to have a mixture of both. He's the first QB where I've seen they can change tendency in 7 days. And you can't do that with any other quarterback. Lamar Jackson, they are very much so a run-first team. And the Chiefs are going to be prepared for that. Andy Reid, when I say he doesn't outcoach people, I mean as though he's not this mastermind, but he does, and that's just my opinion. People can disagree. But in my opinion, what Andy Reid does so well is Andy Reid plays to the tendencies of other coaches. And he does watch so much film where he's like, yo, you want to run the ball a lot? Okay, we're gonna buff the D line up, we're gonna bring in an extra guy, and we're gonna bring a safety blitz or a ghost blitz that is gonna account for your QB, so we keep Lamar contained.
First of all, I got something to say. Andy Reid ain't in none of them defensive conversations that y'all think about. Let's keep it a full bean. Because I heard even LaShawn McCoy said Andy Reid don't. He'd be like, oh yeah, y'all got defense. I'm in the offensive room. That's where he lives. So Andy Reid ain't worried about nothing on the defensive side. Second of all, my thing is this again. What did the Bills? Shelton, you said it. The Bills, or Ken, you started off saying the Bills won every statistical category except points, which means they ran the ball. And they did it very well. Josh Allen had 2 of them things in the end zone. Did he not, Shelton? Who the hell is the best version of that currently in the NFL?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar freaking Jackson. And right now, who has Lamar Jackson not beaten? If you look at the regular season schedule, did they not play more playoff teams and beat them handedly? The Detroit Lions that B is wearing ski mask over, they spanked them. The San Francisco 49ers that FIFO keep talking about is 1 year away from winning the Super Bowl. They spanked them on the road. And that same team almost lost to Green Bay. But
you know what? Hold on.
My thing is
you
this,
can't have it both ways because you can't be talking about regular season and talk about playoffs because playoffs is a whole other animal.
I'm saying Lamar is having a phenomenal year,
and that's why he's the MVP, which is a regular season award. We talking the playoffs now.
Okay. So that's leading up to my point, FIFO. The whole point is I'm saying is that this team that they're about to face makes little to no mistakes. And they are the number one team doing what the Chiefs, like y'all mentioned, have tried to adjust to do. And this is a defense that the Chiefs, it's the hardest defense they played in the playoffs. Damn near the hardest defense they probably played all year.
So Baltimore is the shit because they beat a rookie QB. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Like, if I'm gonna use your logic, if I'm gonna use your logic, man, they beat CJ Stroud. That's crazy. No, like he beat
and it was close.
Josh Allen one more time. Josh Allen for the 3rd time in a row. And then beat Tua Tagovailoa. Y'all was saying this is the most explosive offense, and they destroyed them.
I was saying a lot of stuff.
It was cold outside.
FIFA tried to cut my argument by taking out the regular season, but I was saying that to bring up the fact that the Baltimore is the hottest team going into this last round, this title round. And on top of that, Lamar is literally the scariest quarterback to me that any defensive coordinator has to wake up. They stay up at night because right now he's throwing the ball the best of his whole career. And they actually have weapons to where it's not just the run that you're scared of. You still have Zay Flowers, where I don't know what Chiefs corner, maybe Snead will try to cover him. But then you also have Mark Andrews is coming back, and you have Isaiah Likely having a breakout year. Like these are now weapons that the Chiefs have to not only account for, but you also still have number 8 who can take it 60 yards. Like, come on now. Like, what are y'all disrespecting Lamar?
Man, Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen were not losing sleep when they saw Michael in practice every day. They don't care if they saw Clyde Drexler in the finals, bro. Professor X and Wolverine ain't scared of Magneto because they got Wolverine, nigga. It don't matter, bro. Like they see him every day in practice. So
Y'all acting
what's
like
the point?
y'all acting, and I'm saying like the thing is y'all acting like Mahomes is unbeatable. When I
Like
seen
he's the greatest
damn near.
quarterback that we've ever seen.
I know he is, but
That's
this
what
is
we
not
acting
this
like.
is not his best version of his team. Lamar has the best version of his
Lamar
team
has it.
right
But,
now.
but you know what? But Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs have the best version to beat the Ravens, because you first and foremost you're going to need defense. This is not going to be a shootout because correct me if I'm wrong, but Lamar had less or right around 150 yards passing, right?
Yeah, he did.
He had 100 yards rushing. He had 2 touchdowns in either thing. What the Texans did was they played a lot of man to man, and what happened when he saw that? Boom, he ran. So to me, a smarter defensive coordinator that done seen what the Texans did is like, okay, cool. I understand that our base is man, but guess what? We're going to have to play some zone, and we're going to have to zone blitz more than we had all season because we can't turn our backs on this guy. Because like you just said, Nick, he going to run for 60, bro, and we can't allow that.
While we here talking about Lamar, I guess we might as well talk about the Texans game that was close for
The first half.
the first half. I don't know. Maybe that was rust or whatever. But, I mean, going to the championship game, has Lamar finally silenced the critics?
No, he got to win this game.
Now, he got to get to the Super Bowl at
gotta win
least.
this game.
At
This
least.
wasn't enough?
No.
No.
Like Q said, you
Why
talking about
not?
beating the rookie QB?
In a game he was supposed to win. He was favored to win the game. He was at home. He was a much higher seed than the Houston Texans, who nobody expected to be there. This is a game he had to win, but he has to win the next game.
That's crazy.
This next game to get him on the tier that we all expect him to be on by now, this is the game that he has to win.
That's crazy y'all saying that, but when I know somebody's gonna make an argument that Brock Purdy silenced some critics by his game-winning quote-unquote performance.
No.
But Lamar finally proved that he not only can he
Why are we
play.
talking about Brock and Lamar?
I'm just saying Lamar finally proved that he can win playoff games in a Lamar fashion that's like
He's
you know
won
is
one.
excellent.
He won 2 playoff
If anything,
games.
Brock Purdy woke up some critics.
I'm just
I
saying-
see more talk about him in
We're
the
talking
negative
about
way.
Lamar right
Exactly.
now.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
Lamar has a better resume than Josh Allen, and most people say
No,
Josh
he does
Allen.
not.
He has a better regular
don't.
season
Lamar
resume.
hasn't been to an AFC championship.
He has a better
game.
regular season resume.
He's at an AFC
Now.
championship game, and he's
This
favored
is
to
his
win.
first one. That's what I'm saying.
And
This
he's
is his
favored,
first
and he's favored to win.
So
Just like Josh Allen was favored to
Favorite
win.
don't
That's
mean
the point.
anything.
That's
He
the
gotta
point.
win
If
it.
anything, now he's on the same level as Josh Allen, and him winning this game, he will surpass him.
No, he's got 2 MVPs. He's a Hall of Famer already.
He got one. And
Yeah,
one.
we just
got
talked
one
about that.
You got to
That's
get
reg-
2. Let's like
one.
let's say he
But
got
keep
2.
it a bean. He ain't got to.
He got one right now.
He can have 2. It's still a regular season award, like we talked about. He still got to show up in the playoffs. That's the thing. Everybody, and I get it because I'm with you on the Lamar hype. But at the same time, Lamar has missed how many games the last couple of years? Lamar ain't seen the postseason. He plays great for 8 games, and then we didn't see him anymore for the rest of the season, 2 years in a row. So this is the first year that we've seen Lamar complete a season, and we've seen what he can do. He has to cross over the hump, though. He still got to do it, and that's just facts. He got to do it. We can't just crown him the next until he's done it in the postseason.
100%.
These are untreaded waters he going into, and we talked about Patrick. He's been here. So it's a little easier for him because he's been down this road before.
I will say he's better than Josh Allen, though. I'll
He
give you
is.
that. He's
He
better than
is.
Josh
This
Allen,
is gonna be a better
100%.
test.
That's all I
They
was
can't-
saying.
Yeah, he's better than Josh
Oh,
Allen. but
100%, 100%.
He ain't reached the level where it's like, okay, he up there with Patty, though.
I didn't say, he got to win a Super Bowl to be in that conversation. If he
Nah,
wins a Super Bowl, he's in the conversation with Patty.
You know what Tony Romo said? Look, before the game, he said, if you want to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Josh Allen hasn't done that yet. Lamar Jackson, I want to say, is 0-3 against Patrick Mahomes in the regular season. I understand. He hasn't seen him in the playoffs. Or I think it's 1 time in the playoffs, 2 times in the regular season. So he has not beat Patrick Mahomes yet. Yeah. Look, it's not to diminish Lamar Jackson's greatness. He is a top 5 quarterback. He is elite. He is a 1-time MVP officially, should be 2-time MVP. But at the end of the day, like everybody that plays any type of sport knows that in the regular season you play for that name that's on the front, and in the postseason you play for that name that's on the back. That's how you become a household name. Lamar Jackson is definitely a household name, but he hasn't usurped or even on the same pedestal as Patty Mahomes. So this is the opportunity to not usurp, because, bro, you still got a lot more work to do. There's still a lot more AFC Championship games, a lot more Super Bowls that you got to go to even sniff the plateau that Patrick Mahomes is on, but this is that first brick on that road to doing so. He has to beat them. And like you said, Nick, he has the better team this year, the better defense, the better offensive weapons. You have to win the game. I don't care even if it's an ugly game. I don't care if he throws 3 interceptions. I don't care how you get it done. You got to get it done.
Yeah. I think Lamar should have silenced his critics by getting to the championship game. I think that he has not, because Lamar Jackson is a black quarterback that people love to criticize.
I don't think it's black. Ken.
I think, okay, I'll tell you, if Lamar gets to the Super Bowl, like y'all saying, that if he gets to the Super Bowl, I think it won't stop there, because he may end up losing the Super Bowl.
FIFA
it
will
never
say,
stops, bro.
Right. Yep. FIFA will say he got to win the Super Bowl for him to be in the conversation.
Because I just said this last week, Nick, and I know you don't be
Not
on the
you
show every
people
week
will
to
say
week
that.
like
That's what I'm saying. The critics will say that, bro.
But you know what, Ken? I don't give a fuck about the critics, man. I give a fuck about the niggas that be here on Dead End Sports and the fans that listen to Dead End Sports.
No, you don't, because you about to talk shit to me.
This is the well. Hey, I miss you, Nick. I miss you. But this is the place where sports opinions collide, Ken. And I've always said it's not if you lose, it's how you lose. I've been said that. I've always.
I know
said
you
that.
said that, but I'm the general populace. Don't care about that.
I don't care about the general populace.
So you don't think he needs to win one more game to solidify his place?
I think that Lamar has to win the Super Bowl in order to silence the critics. Period. Point blank. That's it in the story.
No, I mean for you. I'm saying for you, does he have to win this game?
I said, and I've been saying it all year. For me, it's the Super Bowl. This is the AFC is weak.
Yeah.
This is his chance to get there. You got to get there. Mm-hmm. And he got to the championship game, but this wasn't it for me. Mm-hmm. My thing was Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So do it.
Super Bowl or bust this year. I can see that. I still say if he wins this next round and get to the Super Bowl, then
I would say just like Joe Burrow took that leap because he made it to a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. The same thing we would consider for Lamar Jackson. He would be right there with not Patrick Mahomes, but Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, those three, with Patrick, of course, being number one in the same conversation. He will have surpassed Josh Allen. He will have surpassed anybody else that you could put or try to put on a level with him because he's made it further than him.
Correct.
Do we ever talk about Nick Foles?
Not at all.
Do we ever talk about Jared Goff? Do we even forget that he even played in the Super Bowl?
Because we know what that was, though, Ken. We know that was like.
Ken, speaking of that, Jared Goff may be better than Josh Allen. I'm willing to say that shit.
Hey, switch the link. Switch the link.
Hey, he done made a father, Nick.
I'm just.
We're about to forget about Joe Burrow. He keep this shit up.
Hey, if he get back to the Super Bowl, you got to start talking about Jared Goff.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Sheldon. It's like if Jared Goff get this Detroit Lions, he's taking 2 franchises. Only Peyton Manning and Tom Brady have done that.
Further than Stafford.
Yeah, like if he takes this Lions to the Super Bowl, bro, he better than Josh Allen. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Stats.
Bro,
You're not better.
We'll get there.
What that says is Dan Campbell's
what about
Sean McDermott.
What about you, Q? What do you think with this whole Lamar thing and the Texans and that game and silencing of the critics and stuff like that?
I think that Patrick Mahomes is the guy, and I think if you beat the guy, then you have to get the credit for climbing a certain type of mountain. I think Lamar is going to have to win 2 Super Bowls for people to stop talking about him because Jalen Hurts has kind of like poisoned that well where it's like what Spikes just said, whether he's joking or not, is that's like the reason why it doesn't matter even if he gets there, because if he gets to the Super Bowl, people gonna be like, all right, well, Jalen Hurts just got to the Super Bowl last year and he was trashed the very next year. Let's see him do it again. And I think that in terms of the mainstream competition, that's where it'll go. For me, if Lamar gets there and they're competitive next year as well, I think he should prove that was not a fluke and he's like overcome a certain hump,
I'm not sure if that's fair because in the process of leading their teams there, Ken and I have said this, Jalen Hurts don't look the same as Lamar looks taking his team there. You can see Lamar jump off the page. Like, we see the skill set. The apprehension was, can he make it through the season? Okay, can he win a playoff game? After he shows he can make it through a playoff game, he can make it through a playoff stretch, he can make it through a season, we know he has an MVP award. I don't think that he would have the same hurdles that a Jalen Hurts would have because the skill set is better, a lot better.
Well, I think that to be
Absolutely.
to be on my Ken shit, he's still he's still a black man in America, right? Like, so he's still going to be given that, like, oh, well, we just saw this, you know, I saw someone who looks just like him do this last year, and that, you know what I mean? Like, that's literally what the fuck it's going to turn into. So Lamar Jackson is going to be a beneficiary of that prejudice. So I'm sad to say it.
And on top of that, to Q's point, like, and Q and Kim's point, I mean, you could also go back to Cam Newton. Cam Newton lost that Super Bowl too.
Same thing.
And like to me, Lamar will be changing NFL culture by winning a Super Bowl because he'll prove that a running, quote unquote, running QB can actually win your franchise a Super Bowl. And then he will be the greatest running QB of all time with that, you know, with the accolade. So like that's a lot that Lamar's carrying a lot more than the city of Baltimore on his shoulders. Like he's dealing with a lot, and I like the way how he handles it. He's handling it pretty, like honestly, the best. We don't really talk about Lamar Jackson as a quarterback for some reason, but he's one of the best faces of the league and for his franchise.
And you know what, Nick? We don't give style points out here, but it's like the media does. The media is very biased in that sense. So if Lamar, you know, like to people's point, if he throws 3 picks and he throws for less than 180 yards, and it's a terrible like grind them out win, and the defense makes a bunch of good plays against Mahomes, right? That will be the narrative that the team helped Lamar get there. And if that same thing happens in the Super Bowl where Lamar stinks it up or Lamar plays average and they somehow win, it becomes, you know, John Harbaugh and that team, it was a team of destiny. It doesn't become Lamar Jackson stamped his career as this guy and blah, blah, blah. It'll become the team. So it's all about style too for Lamar, man, sadly.
Yeah, and go ahead.
I think the thing though is, and this is another one of my favorite things is context, right? Like let's look at the context of his career. He came in, they was trying to switch his position. You know what I'm saying? Came in, had to prove a lot of people wrong. Ken just a year or so ago was saying that he can't throw. Now he's throwing out of the pocket. I mean, in the pocket.
Threw 100-some yards, bro.
No, but it was efficient though, Ken, and it was clean. It was efficient. Look, you don't have to be able to throw 400 yards to be considered a pocket quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He made the throws he needed to make. He ran when he needed to run. So at the end of the day, the context of Lamar Jackson's career is ascending. And that's the reason why I said, like, at least for me, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it's about the wins at this point. Because he's proven the naysayers wrong. Oh, you can't throw from the pocket? Watch this. Oh, you're not durable? Watch this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that type of quarterback can't win an MVP? I'm about to win my second. Like, at the end of the day, the only thing missing off of Lamar Jackson's resume, regardless of how he gets it, is a Super Bowl title.
He has not proven them wrong. He has not proven them wrong yet. They still don't not giving this man credit. We just had somebody say he ain't quarterbacky enough.
Yeah.
Who said that?
It doesn't matter. That's
media,
what they're saying, bro. You know,
Some white lady that got
They're trying to
embarrassed
take it
next
from
week.
him. The fact that we still talk about Josh Allen in the media, I'm sorry. They talk about Josh Allen as much as they had. The talk hadn't been about Lamar. It's been about Josh Allen this whole time. So you're right. They're ignoring Lamar Jackson is being ignored by the media.
But I think that's a different conversation, though. I think that, and I don't want to step on Nick's point because I know he's going to bring this up. I think what you're saying is a different conversation from Lamar Jackson getting his credit. The reason we all know sitting here as black men that they pumping Josh Allen up because they want that great white hype person.
That's the point, yeah.
Quarterback. And they see C.J. Stroud. They see Lamar Jackson. They see Jalen Hurts. They see all of these black quarterbacks. I'm like, holy shit.
We got a kid.
We don't even have one.
Guess who's coming out in the draft that everybody talking about? Caleb Williams. Like,
J.J. McCoy.
And Jaden Daniels now is the number 2 pick as far as people concerned.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be like
it's continuing. Yeah,
they're going to be. It's going to be a time where it's going to be like 20 quarterbacks leading franchises that are all black. You know what I'm saying? And the best of them are going to be top 4, and eventually the NFL is just going to have to accept that and embrace it. But right now, that's why we keep having these Josh Allen conversations. Like, the nigga ain't done shit. Jared Goff potentially will have done more in his career. It'd be crazy to say that with Josh Allen's talent, I'd rather have Jared Goff's career.
Has Lamar done anything besides the MVP? But has he really done anything? Because he just now get into an AFC Championship game.
I'm saying right now, Lamar Jackson as a quarterback has put himself in a better position than Josh Allen when it comes to actually winning something.
Yeah, and that's why he has to win this year because it may not be this. Well, it's not going to be this easy ever again. And what I mean by that is
Yes.
the level of competition that he's had to face. You know, Houston is an up and coming team, but this is as weak as you're gonna catch Houston for the next couple of years. And he only got to beat Patty in this weakened team to get to the Super Bowl. So the path is laid out. And when he gets to the Super Bowl, he's either going to face one of the two teams that he smoked this year. So, like you said, this is the year for Lamar. He has to win it.
What are the expectations? I was thinking about this when Lamar got to a championship game. What are expectations for top-tier quarterbacks? Like, is it Super Bowl or championship games?
Depends where they are in their career, Ken. I think in the
just like in general, when we have a guy like that is the guy, he should at least get to this to solidify his career.
I think championship game.
I think it depends where you are. Like for right now, C.J. Stroud in the next 2-3 years, you got to get to a championship game.
What about his career?
His career, it at least get to a Super Bowl.
I think that's a team thing more so. Like your team gets you to the Super Bowl. If you good enough to get me to the
Not necessarily.
AFC or NFC championship game,
So
then we can talk from there. Like
I agree.
Dak's not good enough to get to an AFC or NFC
I agree with
championship
Lou.
game.
But that's an obvious answer. I'm asking you a question. So if Patty get this team, if Patty gets to the Super Bowl this year, they say they beat Lamar and they go to the Super Bowl. Is that because of the team of the Chiefs or is that because of Patrick Mahomes?
That's because of Patrick Mahomes.
That's
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes.
But that's
isn't
an
it?
exception because he's the best quarterback
No,
ever.
what I'm
He's the
saying
best quarterback ever.
But what I'm saying is, he's the best quarterback ever to you. Some people still say Brady. But what I'm saying is that quarterbacks these days, because I know I have to preface it, y'all be always trying to cut me up, but quarterbacks these days are the engine for why you are there. They're the whole main reason. Exactly. Not always, because some
Dan
people
Marino was the engine.
No,
Fuck
but,
you mean?
But no, I'm saying, but some people like say Nick Foles, the year Nick Foles had, Trent Dilfer, even Jalen Hurts to a certain degree, like they'd be like, oh, those was just one-offs, you know what I'm saying? But to me, what I'm saying is that to be consistently there, I think what we're talking about when you're talking about legacy is that these are the quarterbacks that led their team there. No one really brings up, like Patty, most of his career had a shitty defense. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
So
hold
you
on.
can't say that's the team.
Help me to understand that this is the man that talks about Andy Reid ain't shit because he went to all of those NFC championship games and didn't win nothing. But now he's saying that
Well, he got to a Super Bowl.
one time.
Yeah,
one time with Philly. But but all I'm saying is that Nick says that the AFC championship or the championship game ain't shit. So, but now that's a standard. That's okay.
No, it's expectations for quarterbacks.
Yeah,
when we recognize that they're the guys.
Is different than head coaches.
Yes.
Look, man.
I would-
Look. QBs exist within the context of their team.
Correct.
And that means that if your team has, like Russell Wilson, if you have all world LOB defense, I don't think you're the engine of that team. I think you are the operator of what the system calls for you. When you're Brock Purdy, you have an all-world skills position like track team around you, and you have a fucking gladiator in Debo. I don't think you're the engine. I think that you are the operator of that system. And if you are a high-level operator, you can get to championship games repeatedly as long as you have the infrastructure of your organization intact. If you keep a Kyle Shanahan, if you keep people like DeMeco Ryans at DC, if you have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes being the system, there are certain guys that are the system. There are certain guys that know how to run the system well. But you don't actually have to have elite QB play to keep getting back to championship games. You have to have a guy who knows how to play his role, and you have to have something that stands out either on offense or defense. And that's always been the case the last 6 years.
Sheldon, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Brock Purdy in the MVP? Wasn't he a leading candidate in the MVP conversation the last 4 weeks of 4 or 5 weeks of the season?
Yeah, he was in it.
So is that not above average QB? Is that not somebody? A QB
what I'm asking is, let's just say. So I guess let me add a little bit more to it. So when we look at Lamar as an MVP, what I'm asking is, when we have quarterbacks that are the guys, like. If Lamar never made it to an AFC championship game, you know, how do we look at his career, whether or not he won an MVP or not? Like, what are the expectations when you are the absolute guy? If you're a top 5 in the league, do we expect you to get to an AFC championship game at least?
Yes.
Yes.
Wouldn't the story depend on your situation? So say Lamar never got the players he got and wasn't in the situation he's in. Like we just talked about the perfect scenario. He had the perfect storm this year. If he never had the perfect storm, but he still played and didn't miss all those games, and they did well until they met a juggernaut. Wouldn't he be thought of higher still, even though he didn't make the championship game?
They did for Peyton Manning, but it only went so far.
Even Peyton got criticized
Yep.
when he was struggling to get to the AFC
Hey,
Championship.
did we not start this whole show? Is Josh Allen, Phillip Rivers? And Phillip Rivers made a whole host of AFC Championship games.
And y'all saying he going to the Hall of Fame.
I don't know about all that.
I
I
think
think
he's
he's
all
a host of. I think he went
And
to
that
the-
goes. That's the answer to the question. Phillip Rivers never made it to a Super Bowl. He made it to several AFC Championship games, and many people consider him a Hall of Fame quarterback.
I was just wondering because I was like, would his career, if Lamar never made it, if he somehow lost, would his career be a failure? And
Nah, because we look at the
no,
first.
people judge harshly, bro.
They do judge harshly.
Phillip Rivers only made it to one AFC Championship game, I think.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think.
But
it's
if you're
only one.
that
I think
good,
it's
should
only-
you at least get to a championship game?
Yeah, you should at
Yes,
least
yeah.
get to one.
You should at least
Yeah.
get to one. You
CJ
should really-
Stroud
you
to get to a championship game.
You should at least, if you're
CJ
talking
Stroud
about,
should be in the AFC Championship.
if you're talking about elite, like Hall of Fame or like elite talent like that, you should at least get to a Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Nah, 'cause
So
that's
you at
hard
Super
to
Bowl.
do, bro.
I
Like
mean,
you're talking about.
Well, this is the NFL, Lou. We ain't coming out here picking roses and playing fucking
But
Scrabble.
a lot of good to above, better than good quarterbacks will not make a Super Bowl because the chips will never fall in their way. Either they're gonna run into a Patrick
talking about
Mahomes,
Dak.
they're gonna have injuries. All of this shit will happen to them, and they'll never make it to a Super Bowl.
Well, they
They
make
at least
got to
be good to make it to the championship
and those
game,
and
though.
those are the niggas we ain't even talking about. Because at least Dan Marino got to a fucking Super Bowl.
Well, you just started this conversation talking about fucking Justin Herbert and John Harbaugh. Justin Herbert ain't been there.
Do we expect Justin Herbert to get to? That's a good one.
Yeah.
Do we expect him with his talent to get to a championship game?
If he get Harbaugh, if he get
If he
Harbaugh,
gonna
yes.
keep getting all this hype,
I do not.
I
do
don't
not expect
by
that.
himself, no, because he's proven that he's not a winner. But if he get Harbaugh, hey, sky's the limit.
they saying Pete Carroll is got a line on that job too now. So
All right. Well, speaking of limits,
Hold on.
Hold
Phillip
on.
Rivers only made one AFC Championship game.
Good segue.
hold on, we got breaking news.
What happened?
Doc Rivers has just accepted the coaching position in
You are lying to me.
You lying? I'm seeing
Hold
somebody
on,
in the
man.
chat. Somebody in the chat just said that.
Hold on, man.
I can't
Oh,
believe
this
that.
is the best.
It's your
day of my
favorite
life.
coach, Nick. It's your
That's
favorite.
hilarious.
Doc Rivers is a legend, man. However he
This is
keeps
a-
putting this bullshit off, he is a legend, bruh.
Bruh.
That is
Are you
crazy.
serious? A guy, what was his record before he got fired? Wasn't he like 30-13?
30 in the
Yeah, Adrian Griffin was something like that. Yeah. That's what B said. He was 30 or
Second in the
13.
East?
Yeah, he was second in the whole.
crazy.
He
Bro,
was tied for second in the league.
I gotta get a drink. I can't believe that.
Get that Duce. Get that Duce.
That's
Let me tell y'all. The Bucks under Adrian Griffin was 30-13, which is second in the East, tied for second in the league. They would be in first place, but they were in the Western Conference.
Man.
First in the league in offense, second in points per game, fifth in 3-pointers made, third in field goal percentage, and they fired him.
How bad you got to piss Giannis off for that thing?
I can't wait to talk about this.
They
I
said
can't wait. I can't wait to talk about
Try to
this.
cut his brother.
they said Thanasis was committing insurance fraud. So
He committed basketball.
Hey, no.
Well,
yo, Sheldon,
while we're here, Q, go ahead. What are your thoughts on this, bro?
I mean, I see. First of all, Sheldon, I seen a meme where dude was like, Adrian Griffin stopped the meeting and said, "Thanasis, what is your role on this team?" And Giannis lost it. Like he just lost it. He's like, "Man, this guy got to go. This guy has to go." Like you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but it's, no,
Failure.
Yeah. But no, Giannis gives me passive aggressive. When he was doing that whole interview, he's like, people have to coach better, people have to clean better, all that shit, right? He was looking.
Why you had to do his voice like that, Q?
That's
Why
what
you
he
had to do his voice like that?
you know, Q overseas. He got
He been listening to it. That was good. That was spot on.
Crazy as hell. But no, so Adrian Griffin to me, this is David Blatt all over again. Except the difference is there is no LeBron walking through that door. Giannis is definitely going to be Hall of Fame because Hall of Fame and NBA, everybody who's great makes it. But that don't really
The
mean
nigga won a
much to me.
championship. Fuck you mean?
I mean,
And he scored 50 points to
come
seal
on.
it.
I mean, against
Q.
Chris Paul. Against Chris Paul, man. Let's not do
Okay,
that.
it don't matter. It don't
I mean,
fucking
it do-
matter.
it do matter,
That's the
though.
team
Chris
that
Paul-
made
Chris
it.
Paul's
No,
terrible,
you know
Chris
why
Paul's
it don't?
terrible.
Because if it mattered, LeBron would get way more credit than he does. And
Man.
Jordan would get a lot less credit than he does. Because the people that Jordan played versus the people that LeBron played is way different. So come on, let's not talk about that. It's
I mean,
about the chips.
are
Did you
we
get it or
bringing-
did you not?
Are we bringing Giannis into the same conversation as LeBron and Michael Jordan?
No, we're not. We're not.
We're
Let's
not
focus.
doing that. I know we're not doing that. I know we're not
Let's
doing
focus
that.
on the Bucks.
I know we're not doing that. So
Let's focus on.
here's
Let's
what I'm
focus
saying.
on
So
the
here's what I'm
Bucks.
saying.
Yeah, focus
Here's
on
what
the
I'm
Bucks.
saying. Adrian Griffin, this is the same as what happened with LeBron and David Blatt. Because the difference is that to me, Giannis does not have that same pedigree as a LeBron to where it's justifiable. Everyone wants to keep pointing to the defensive net rating and the defense. I'm sorry, was Adrian Griffin the reason that Jimmy Butler snatched his chain last year and the year 2 years before that?
Why is it not justifiable? Q, why is it not
because Dame
justifiable?
Lillard is your point guard. Dame
Okay.
Lillard is not going to become New Orleans Chris Paul clamping up other guards. Chris
No, we know that.
He's
We know
not.
that.
He's not
Chris
Drew
Middleton-
Holiday.
Hold on, man. Exactly. Chris Middleton's knees are cooked. And people keep talking about, oh man, the Bucks need to get up. What Doc Rivers solves a defensive problem. We just saw that in Philly that he don't do shit besides keep spamming pick and roll. So yeah, the pick and roll is gonna get nice, but in the playoffs, what does that do when guys are like giving you other looks?
Look,
To me, this
wait,
is a scapegoat. That's my spot.
No, 100%.
Isn't this what happens in the NBA though?
No, this is what happened in
I hate it
sports.
so much.
It's a players.
The- the
No,
head-
no, it's not sports.
No, in sports, the
It's
head
NBA.
coach. The head coach is 90% of the time the scapegoat.
If that was the case, Nick Sirianni wouldn't have a job.
Man,
He may not have a job after next year.
No, I'm saying, but he still got one.
He got one right
My
now.
point is, in the NBA, we seen Magic Johnson do this. Jordan has done this. LeBron has done this. Shaq has done this. Like, star players are more valuable to NBA franchises than coaches. Why?
100%
here's
because
the-
there's a less amount of players and there's a smaller amount of players that are even elite at that status.
This is the most talent the NBA's ever had, though.
Huh?
This is the most talent that's ever been in the
No,
league.
100%, but still the elite group of guys is still only a handful of guys.
Yeah, but so what? If I'm the owner or the GM for the Bucks, and the best player in my franchise history come and say, "Hey, man, this dude got to go." Like, why are y'all acting like that can't happen?
Because he got to go. No, 100%.
My only problem though is the fact that, like I said, you're second in the league in wins. You're second in the league in the standings.
My franchise
It's
player,
gotta
who I
be
want to
something
be
more
here
than
for
that.
the rest of his
Yeah.
career, comes and say, "This dude got to go."
They said
something
they
more
said
is that.
They said
You
he
still
was-
got to.
They said he was losing the locker room. They said it was something going on where no matter if they were winning or not, he had to go, which is a weird thing.
Yeah, he had to
And
do
this is
something
what we
more
know
than that.
about Doc Rivers. Typically, at least in the first 2 years of whatever Doc Rivers is at, the
Failure.
locker room is good because he's a player's coach. And then Q, what you said was that Giannis don't have the cachet. What is we? Hold on. First of all, the Milwaukee Bucks made a bad decision when they let J. Kidd go. Why? Because Giannis wanted him. Right? Then they went and got Budenholzer. Budenholzer got him to the promised land, but the knock on Budenholzer was he doesn't make in-game adjustments. Game plan, amazing. System, amazing. He took Giannis to a whole nother level. I think Jason kind of set the stage for Giannis to grow, and then Budenholzer reaped the benefits of that. But let's be honest, like game to game, half to half, quarter to quarter, Budenholzer was not even mediocre. He was trash. Right? So you got rid of him. You bring in this guy. If Giannis is like, hey, bro, you got to go. Because when you let go of Jason Kidd, what did I say? Hey, bro, I might be out of here. When you let Budenholzer go, I say, hey, bro, I might be out of here. So you went and got Dame. Yeah, Giannis runs that shit. So if Giannis has a problem, who gonna go? The head coach, because he ain't gonna let Dame go. His brother not going nowhere. Come on.
I'm not disputing that. I'm saying that that's a scapegoat because Adrian Griffin was not there last year when Miami took their soul. Like that has nothing to do with Adrian Griffin. And then you bring in a worse defensive point guard and expect to have a great defense under Doc Rivers. That's complete BS. And Giannis has to take accountability for his game. So here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying, Nick. Here's what I'm saying, Nick. Here's what I'm saying, Nick. So in 2015, before Steph Curry won those next couple rings, we all said, man, it don't mean shit because he beat LeBron without blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the Bucks win the championship courtesy of Kyrie's bad ankle, and now Giannis is that nigga now. Like, he's a great player. He's going to make the Hall of Fame. Yeah, in Milwaukee, because Milwaukee ain't had shit since fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Come on, man.
Lou Alcindor. Get it right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, come on, Lou Alcindor. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so what are we really saying here? I am not trying to discredit Giannis and say that he's not top 3, top 5, whatever you want to put him at, top 2, some people say. He is that. The difference is that Giannis got to play, man. Like the players got to play. I do believe that the NBA. the NBA overstates and understates coaching at the same time. It's so
Correct.
weird.
It does.
To me.
It
Correct.
does.
100%.
It
It's
does.
so weird to me.
And that's why this is breaking news to me. And that's why I'm drinking now. I wasn't even trying to drink tonight again. But they got out of anybody they could get. Out of anybody they could get, Q.
Nick's favorite coach.
Q, that's
Nick,
my
you being
thing.
trolled this year in sports, bro.
Bruh, Q, that's my thing. It's like, bruh, I agree with everything you said. I think most of us are all agreeing that it's a scapegoat thing. But for y'all to come in to the Bucks office and I don't know if Giannis approved it or not, but they was like, yeah, we got Doc Rivers on the line right now. I'm like, he calling the game with Dorsberg?
They went and got Smokey Neck. They went and got
Doc
Smokey
available?
Neck. They went and got Smokey Neck, man. This shit is crazy.
That to me that shows that they not winning shit this year.
I don't disagree with you. Nick.
They are
somebody
not
told
winning
me
shit this year.
that Adrian Griffin got fired because he's black, and then they hired Doc. So I was like, that can't be it. So I don't know. They were trying to say that he was fired. Earlier. I remember earlier this in the preseason, him and Terry Stotts got into it because he was saying Terry Stotts was trying to undermine him, which led to Terry Stotts resigning because they got into it in front of the team. So it's been issues going on there for a long time. They were saying Terry Stotts was Dame Lillard's longtime coach and real close friend. They were real close, and they stayed in contact after the fact. So it's been some issues there. And they said they didn't believe he could lead them to a championship. They just felt like he wasn't the right man for the job. So it wasn't just Giannis.
They just hired him last year, right?
This year.
Yeah,
this is first year.
Yeah, but my thing is why do you think Doc can? What has Doc proved? Because Doc, let's be honest. Look,
Doc won a championship.
Could it possibly be
one championship? But let's be honest. He's the biggest head coaching choker in the NBA history.
Could it possibly be
Was your daughter even born when that championship came out?
Could it possibly be they think that Doc is a plug and play? Like
Doc
he would have
Rivers-
to go through a lot less of a grace period than another coach. We can get him in, and hopefully by the playoffs.
Okay, the answer to that is yes.
Okay.
No, the answer to that is hell no.
He the only plug and play out there. Who else would you go with?
Spike is right, but typically when you make this choice, you don't go get the big name. You go get somebody else from the staff, somebody else. Like look at the David Blatt situation that Q was. Who replaced him? Tyronn Lue.
Joe
You know what I'm
Mazzulla.
saying?
He was on their staff?
Lue
was on the staff?
Yeah, he was on the staff. When you look at my guy that's in Joe Mazzulla, the guy that's in Houston right now.
Ime.
Udoka.
You know what I'm saying? Typically is somebody on the staff because they already know, you know what I'm saying? Like they could just, so now Doc Rivers is coming in and the rest of the staff is niggas that was already there. That shit just don't make a lot of sense.
And my thing is this: who the fuck is Dame Lillard to say I want this, I want that? Nigga, you ain't won shit.
Nah, but Dame Lillard is top in his position.
FIFO, and that's the reason why they're not gonna win either. Because Dame Lillard thinking he thinking that he came to his team. No, nigga, you couldn't get it done over there on the West Coast. So you
Bro, we
come to the East.
forgot
never had a
about
number
the
two, though.
NBA forgot about Dame Lillard when he
really
went to
did.
Milwaukee.
They really did.
We haven't talked about Dame Lillard since he hit that shot.
He hit that one shot last week.
What'd you
Dame
say, Q?
time. That's all they've been talking about. I'm like,
And that's
okay.
and that's Sheldon, to your point, and that's where the problem is that the Bucks think that they're like this souped up high power vehicle, and really they're just a hoopty with some good paint job. And it's just
That's
like
it.
they can't.
But how
they
you a
can't-
hoopty when you second in the NBA?
Bro, because we people, they're the Eagles. They are the Eagles of the NBA. They're the Eagles. We see it. We see it. Oh, it looks really like they're getting the wins, but they can't guard. They can't guard Betty White, bro. Like this shit is bad, man.
It won't mean much in the playoffs, is what Q
It
said.
won't mean much, is what I'm saying. Like I'm seeing, like on both ends, Adrian Griffin left a lot to be, desired, man. He left so much to be desired. The sets that he was running on offense were really bad, and the defense was terrible. But defense in the NBA is nothing more than desire and just basic scheme, and that doesn't change with a coach unless they're like a defensive specialist, like a Ime Udoka, and those are very far and few in between. So me, it comes down to Giannis has to work with his coach if he's gonna be, a pliable personality to, get the offense right. And if that's the reason he was fired, I understand it. But to me, it's still a scapegoat because Doc Rivers is not anywhere more pliable. He's just more of a, we can do this and that. And we'll make, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. He's not doing
Q was 2 for 2 on impressions.
like,
So here's the thing about Milwaukee. Since we're here, I don't know if y'all saw this. They're looking to trade for DeJounte Murray, and add that to the fold to try to up their defensive prowess.
Does
this year.
Dame know that? Does Dame know that?
Right.
Yeah.
Look,
He's gonna be a Laker.
We know this about DeJounte. DeJounte could play the two. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously he's playing the two in Atlanta now. And he's doing a really good job at it.
Ain't helping.
What he doing for Atlanta, Q? He ain't doing a goddamn.
He's a role player, man.
I'm saying.
He's a role player. He's a championship role
to
player.
me, the last thing is like if you wanted to be interesting and creative, get Mark Jackson. Because at least Mark Jackson, I know he knows how to instill some type of culture. Doc Rivers
him out of town quicker than he ran dude out of town.
Yeah, I
He
know.
try to take Giannis to church.
To me, it's just like hiring Doc Rivers says that the Bucks are just trying to appease Giannis in any way possible. And they had to go down to a nigga because we could talk about that championship that he won. Doc Rivers was trying to give away that Celtics title that first go around. I don't know every round with the Atlanta Hawks with Mike Bibby was 7 games. After that, they was going 7 games with niggas you wouldn't think was supposed to go 7 games.
Doc Rivers won that DEI Yes We Can championship, and he ain't done shit since, man. I'm like, and we've seen it last year. The minute that Joel Embiid and James Harden's pick and roll doesn't work anymore because now you're bringing drop coverage and you're bringing a defender above the key to like funnel it into the defense, it doesn't work no more, man. And he doesn't know how to make adjustments. So if you're talking about a coach who is coming in to save a season because the other coach don't know how to make adjustments, you don't bring in the doctor who's going to kill the patient on the operating table, bro. That does not make sense to me. Like if you're going to do any type of coaching, you bring in an offensive guy like a D'Antoni who's going to at least score a bunch of points.
D'Antoni out the NBA, bro. He ain't coming back.
I mean, at least though, a guy like that, you know what I mean? A guy like shit.
No, he's too rigid. Doc Rivers is not gonna do nothing. But here's the thing: I don't think it's just appeasing just Giannis. I think it's again because Doc is known as the players' coach, so it's not just Giannis. I think it's whatever's happening in that locker room. Doc can come in and make it feel good. But is it going to lead to wins? Is it going to lead to a championship? I don't think so at all. I don't think nobody here thinks that's going to happen.
Man, Doc Rivers is gonna be down 3-1 in a series, or blow a 3-1 lead, and they're gonna be looking at him in the huddle. He gonna give a Jalen Hurts quote about how the greatest strife that we have in our lives is that we have to be better in the moment. Like this shit not gonna mean nothing, man. He has to actually coach. And at the end of the day, I've seen it 3 straight seasons with Joel Embiid. He can't do anything with talent. We saw it with the Clippers. He doesn't know how to adjust when people start blitzing Chris Paul. They don't know how to stop once they stop the Blake and Chris Paul pick and roll. It's over. It's like he knows one play, and then he doesn't actually trust his coaches to be like, "Yo, Doc, we got to make an adjustment." He'll be like, "Yo, who are you talking to? I've won the championship and all that." Like that shit doesn't it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. So I really need Bucks fans to recognize that, bro. This is a Hail Mary play. This is not a guy coming in to save your season. This is a season that is trying to be saved, and it's not going to be saved. I'm sorry.
Well, Q.
Hold on. Sheldon, I trust Dr. McDreamy more than Doc Rivers. Fuck all the
Hey, well, speaking of seasons being saved, Glock Purdy.
Glock.
Oh, here we go.
Glock Purdy, bro. He saved the Niners. He saved the Niners because Jordan Love was on him, bro, until Jordan Love choked.
He's a young QB kid. Don't do that.
Too much peripheral.
Yeah, hey man, look, you just. I don't know. I talked about it in the post game show, and I was telling y'all you just can't run out of the pocket and just throw the ball up.
No,
Yeah,
He's been doing that since I was in Detroit. Like, what are you doing?
But you ain't think he was gonna get this far doing that shit though, kid. I tell you that because he was dropping some dimes like that Romeo Dobbs sideline pass. That was
a great pass.
Like,
wow, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
He was making.
I was the one to Greenlaw.
Ask your question, kid. Ask your question.
He should have just threw that away. He
did throw it away.
He did. Not to the other team.
With 3 defenders were.
Not to the other team, Ken.
He took nobody would have expected him to be where he was, and he had a hell of a season. He's earned. He's about to get a deal too. He about to get paid.
Damn,
I'll say
up already.
Yeah.
It's time to get paid. and
I'll
he's
say
about to get his money.
I'll say this: Brock Purdy was like, thank the Lord that this nigga don't know how to play football right, because that was my ass, Mr. Postman.
So they gonna pay Jordan Love $60 million.
That was it. That was it. And he got shaky down the stretch. If he had made one of those plays in on those last few drives,
Exactly, like that was
been,
it. Like they just needed one more touchdown, the game was over.
Yeah, it was over.
Yeah, if you're a Packers fan, you happy. Like you showed up, you didn't get embarrassed.
Are you happy?
You are.
Your quarterback threw 2 fourth quarter interceptions.
But you happy because
you ahead of schedule, and you know you got a quarterback that compete, and
Yeah.
you got probably one of the best coaches in football right
yeah,
now.
and his wide
Hands-
receivers have come of age, and he got all those. He got weapons everywhere.
I'm not
And it's a
happy.
weak
I'm not
division.
happy. They had the Niners on the ropes. That game was theirs for the taking.
But you know why though, Ken? It wasn't necessarily because of Jordan Love. The reason why they had the Niners on the ropes, and here's the thing: against the Lions, they better shore that shit up. But that D line did not play up to
No.
to the names on the back of that jersey.
Run the ball. They was running the
Because the way that Green Bay manhandled them, it was running the ball however, wherever, and just pretty much ragdolling that defensive line. Ken, they go into Detroit, or Detroit come in. And Detroit played the type of football that they was playing, bro. 49ers can lose
I would-
to the damn
and they was
Lions.
playing with house money.
FIFO, I would agree with you too about the Detroit, because like the one thing the Packers and the Lions have in common is a good offensive
O-line.
line, but their O line, some of them got hurt in the last game, in
Yeah.
that bus game. So I don't know how that O line is going to be. But to me, the Niners are in trouble. The Niners, but I'm gonna let everybody else talk because you know I got something to say.
Well, it wasn't looking good. You know, it was a very ugly game, and you know, throughout the game, I was like, why the hell is Shanahan not giving Christian McCaffrey the ball? He kept dropping back in these empty sets, having Purdy throw the game. At one point, I think even Spike was like, why are they trying to have Purdy win the game?
He
The
was
shit was
gambling.
making no sense. And right when I texted, like, what is Shanahan doing? Why is he trying to be so fucking smart, like Andy Reid would do every once in a while? Like, what are you doing, bro? He handed the ball, and this was after the Packers went up. He handed the ball to Christian McCaffrey. What did he do? Went for 39 yards and a touchdown. And then he went right away from it and started throwing the ball again. You just lost Debo.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are screenplays, Debo, run, nigga, run, and then that's it. That's all you do. So you ain't even got your guy, and you trying to.
That's not all they do, Ken. You
It's-
had
it's
a
a-
very breakout season.
Don't
this
do
year,
that. Don't do that,
and-
FIFO.
Don't
What'd
do
you say?
what?
What'd you say now?
Here we go.
Did they have a breakout season?
Oh, you said Ayuk.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying he didn't have good numbers, but don't act like Brock Purdy is a throw the ball down the field type.
No.
of quarterback.
No, he
I'm
said
not saying that.
Ayuk. He said the receiver had a great year. But what I'm saying, I'm talking about the scheme though. The scheme isn't really like. I know he's
Yeah, it's-
over time built
it's not
into this
throw the
whole
ball
empty
down the
set thing. Like he has this super confidence in Purdy or whatever, which is fine. But understand, like Christian McCaffrey is a game breaker. You give him the ball, you lean on him, and when Debo goes out, why do you want to go? First of all, you lose a talented receiver that's a game breaker, a playmaker. So why you want to throw the ball when you got Juwan Jennings and somebody else coming in? It made no sense.
Ken, I don't disagree. What I took away from this is this, and I know you love Glock Purdy, and you see I said Glock. I never say Glock. I always say Brock. But
You can say Brock still.
I could.
He don't deserve block after that.
He
game.
don't.
Ken,
Yeah,
He in the
he
NFC
never
Championship,
did.
man.
you know what
never did.
elite quarterbacks do? It doesn't matter the weather condition. They throw the same. They look the same. It doesn't matter. They're unfazed.
No one calls Brock elite though.
No, I'm not, and I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm not calling him
'cause
elite.
I don't know
I've
where
never
he going
called
with
him
this.
elite.
Yeah.
I never called him elite.
You gotta
But
talk this out.
what I'm saying
Please.
is especially in football, right? Because it's so final. Playoff games especially provide clarity because there is weather, because there is injury, because there is this, because Debo's out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he had an amazing final drive. You know what I'm saying? And I know what I put in the chat. I'm like, hey, he has to prove himself. And he's not elite. But what that game showed you was he's far from it. And the MVP votes and all of that type of shit, throw that shit out the window. Throw that shit out the window.
What that game, I'm sorry.
But you can keep it just
What
slide
that
over
game showed me is, and I hate to say this, that Nick might be right. With what he's talked about all season with the arrogance of Kyle Shanahan.
Man.
Because a lot of the stuff that you were saying, Ken, like, Why are you running empty backfield? You got a Ferrari in the backfield, bro. But you putting it in the hand of a Ford Taurus and hoping that he can win the game for you in Brock Purdy. And a Ford Taurus is good. It can get you from place to place just like Brock Purdy can. But in this game where it's all the stakes are on the line and it is as final as you say, and we lost one of our top threat, like the top threat people that we have on our team, it reminded me of him losing that 28-3 lead when he was the offensive coordinator for Atlanta. It's like you're out here and you're being arrogant. You're trying to be pretty. You're on this like, oh, I'm Kyle Shanahan type shit.
Nick,
and one last thing,
Spike.
the star of this show, the person who's supposed to be elite, even with all those weapons, is Kyle Shanahan. He's the one that's coming to tell us, oh, I can win with Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, I can win with Trey Lance. And he's being too arrogant in the sense of, I told y'all Brock Purdy was elite. Bro, we don't care. We want you to win the game and do what you're supposed to do from a scheme standpoint. And he wasn't doing it.
So let me ask you this, because I think sometimes there is a delicate balance. I don't disagree with anything that you said. I think Kyle Shanahan does get a little arrogant in his own scheme, his own ability. But I think there is a delicate balance of not trusting your quarterback too. Now, again, I agree 100% with everything you said, but you still got to throw some of those throws in there, because if Debo gets hurt and then all of a sudden we're just running the ball 40 times, what does that do for Brock Purdy's mental? You know what
Brock
I'm saying?
Purdy.
Yeah.
You know what?
You can't say fuck Brock Purdy because you're going to need him to win.
He can throw it. My thing is at least have balance. That wasn't even balanced.
No,
39 times, FIFO.
No.
He threw the ball twice.
Your MVP is in the backfield.
I'm not absolving Kyle Shanahan. I agree with everything that Spike said. I agree. There should have been more balance. Matter of fact, it should have been an imbalance toward the run game. It should have been an imbalance toward the run game. I don't disagree. I'm not making any excuses or none of that. But at the same time, I also understand a guy that was Mr. Irrelevant, a guy that had a bad fucking 3.5 quarters. You know what I'm saying? There are some throws, I'm like, bro, where are you throwing the fucking ball?
Well,
and
that's
again,
what Spike. That's what Spike is talking about. Is he's trying so hard to make Brock look like the guy. You know, it brings me back to a special on ESPN where they were doing inside of Kyle Shanahan's mind as offense coordinator and as a coach. And for some reason, like the segment went to like Lil Wayne because apparently they're like really good friends. If I can bring in like a hip hop analogy here, and him and Lil Wayne talk about like the expectations of being young and the industries they were in and whatnot, and how they had to have to innovate and whatnot. And it just really brings something to my mind where you got Drake, Nicki Minaj, and Tyga on the team, but you trying to make Lil Twist happen. Like that shit don't make any sense. It makes no sense. We are here to see Drake and Nicki, bro. We are here to see Christian McCaffrey, Ayuk, and the Avengers of the skills positions, and yet you are trying to bring Uncle Rico with a 5-step drop to make him the fucking guy. And it's ridiculous because Russell Wilson, we never expected Russell Wilson to be that guy in the pass game. It was always Marshawn Lynch and lean on the defense. Put the ball in the hands of skills positions who can make plays. And
but let me play devil's advocate though.
But one last point. You see what happens when we tried to make Russell Wilson the hero in the most key moment of his career, and it came back to bite him. So I really hope Kyle Shanahan understands that, bro. I've been saying this shit for years about him.
And Russell Wilson has never been the same after that fucking play.
Nope.
But at the same time, let me play devil's advocate. If Kyle Shanahan didn't show that type of trust in him throughout the course of the game, does Brock Purdy have the confidence to have that final drive?
Who cares?
He should.
And
what I'll say to that,
you wouldn't needed that final drive.
The biggest demerit against Shanahan in this is you seen this happen in the biggest game of your career. You did the same shit with Matt Ryan. Up 28-3. Oh, I'm gonna keep throwing the ball, like you said, people. Let me mix it up. Let me try to do something so they don't think we just run out the clock. And y'all lost the biggest Super Bowl lead in the history of the Super Bowl, and you still come and you try this shit in the divisional championship game. It's arrogance, as Nick spoke to all along. Like, there's no need for you to do that. Like, yeah, you can mix it up a little bit. You're a good enough coach, Kyle Shanahan, where you don't got to throw the ball 39 times, and you got the Ferrari in the backfield. So it just speaks to his in-game management and it goes all the way back to that.
Prior to that game, the most he's thrown was week 3 against the Giants, 37 attempts. He had 302 yards and 2 touchdowns. But other than that, the highest after that was 32 attempts.
See, my thing is, FIFA, you were talking about the confidence of Brock Purdy. Who gives a fuck? I kind of heard this nigga in the interview say, I'm fine being a game manager. That's what they labeled me. That's what I got to do. So if you a game manager, don't nobody give a damn about what you think. Win these fucking games. And yeah, they won, but they didn't win in a convincing way. There was nothing about, even though he threw for 39 times, he only had, barely over 250 yards in a tutty. You know what I'm saying? Granted, he did win the game and he had that final drive, but the first 3 quarters, Jordan Love looked like he was about to win this motherfucker and beat the upset.
But Jordan Love wasn't statistically rocking the field.
Like
y'all are overhyping Jordan Love's game. Half of them damn big ass stats came on motherfucker that was wide open.
But my thing is this: if we can look at Josh Allen's game and give nuance as far as like if he has turnovers but wins the game, there's still nuance to that. He had a bad game-ish, but for Josh Allen, that's good. I could do the same thing for a young QB who's starting his first year, because first of all, he shouldn't even be in this position anyway, because we didn't think they was going to beat Dallas.
How'd he get there?
And then now we look at him going against the 49ers. He's going toe for toe with a defense that we thought was supposed to be the bullies.
Jordan Love had like 2 good throws, bro.
Come on, bro.
To build on Shelton's point, you know what I mean? To build on Shelton's point, it's different when you're Jordan Love throwing against like Stephon Gilmore, right? And then being wide open for some reason. I'm not Dan Campbell, but the Cowboys defensive coordinator. Quinn and Shanahan. They have like some type of shining type of link where when it gets to the biggest moment, they just start doing shit that is so uncharacteristic. And like, you know what I mean? So the way I see it for the 49ers is bringing it back to the Cowboys. Like, they didn't care about Dak's feelings when they had Zeke. Nigga, run this fucking ball until the dude can't even be in the league for real anymore, man. We gonna get every single ounce of energy out of this like stallion versus you know what I'm saying, Christian McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey was the only bright spot last year against the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. They had him at quarterback. So it's like you have contingency plans for this guy to be your QB, but you don't have the A plan for him to be your first option. He needs to be the bell cow. He needs to be the entire engine of that team. And Kyle Shanahan's arrogance is going to be his downfall, man.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the playoffs. I mean, Christian McCaffrey has been known to get hurt and injured at times, just like Debo. But the fact that you at this point, you give it everything you got. He's going to get 75% of the share. If he in my backfield, he's going to get the ball the majority of the time. That's your first, second, and third option.
My thing, my bad, Sean, go ahead.
No, that's it.
I was going to say, there's somebody in the chat talking about, so not going to lie, I think Kyle is just Andy without Mahomes. He damn sure ain't that, because he had a chance to pick his QB. We see what happens when Andy picked his own damn QB and what transpired. He's now going to his 6th straight title game, and he got 2 Super Bowls from it. Kyle Shanahan picked Trey Lance, and where he at, Lou?
No, I think what they're trying to say is like Andy, how we talked about how Andy Reid make them crazy calls out of nowhere, just do some weird stuff. That may have been what they were talking about when they said Andy without Mahomes.
And the only reason why I'm up here today with y'all is because I fucked up. I did pick Green Bay. On the post game reaction, I thought I picked San Fran, but that was to somebody else. But no, so that's why I was hot, because I seen Green Bay. They had the fucking game plan.
They had the game.
And this is again, I bring up the quarterback. Jordan Love was in his first year starting, and he had the fucking 40. Think about if they give Jared Goff time. We seen his statistics when he got a good pocket, or at least time to throw. And he got Amon-Ra St. Brown and Laporta and all them motherfuckers. And Gibbs is playing like he a young Aaron Jones. Like, come on.
Bro, I don't want to do this, but I got to do it. There got to be a Leroy in the room. Y'all got to stop fucking hyping up this Jordan Love fucking game. I saw a cornerback fall fucking down and left a motherfucker wide open. I saw another motherfucker that fell down and got picked and was wide open. I saw about 2 or 3 fucking PIs that led to easy ass fucking damn touchdowns and shit like that. And people act like this motherfucker was. And then I saw a motherfucker choke the game when Purdy was giving him the fucking game. All Jordan Love had to do was remain fucking calm, and he threw a damn high-ass pass that got tipped and picked off, and then this motherfucking channel Brett Favre and threw the ball across the fucking field. Favre from There's Something About Mary. He gave the fucking game away that he could have won.
First of all, Ken, one, Did they not screw the Packers in that ball placement on that fourth and one?
They did. I said that in the chat.
Okay, yeah. And then
I'm honest, Dick.
And then
That was a Vegas call.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Jordan Love did choke the game away, but I give him grace because it was his first year starting as a full-time starter. And I get my second reason is that Matt LaFleur deserves a lot of credit. I think we're kind of glossing over Matt LaFleur.
He does.
For not only
the
for
most
not
impressive
only
person
being
on
able
Green Bay's squad.
to turn around that second half of the season for the Packers when they looked like everybody was just writing them off, to win all those games, to beat the number 2 seed in your conference. Like Matt LaFleur deserves a Gucci Mane LaFleur. That's all I got.
He definitely does because they weren't supposed to even. A month ago they had been written off. Everybody still was saying that they made a mistake by keeping Jordan Love, and then they came and they won. Who did they beat in the first round?
I know that I wasn't.
Most people was who they beat.
I wrote him off. You talking about Jordan Love?
They beat Dan Quinn.
Oh yeah, I wrote him off.
They beat the shit out of Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
They
They
sent Dan
Jordan
Quinn
Love was
back.
playing like shit.
Dan Quinn won't even get a head coaching job because of that loss.
But LaFleur did a good job. And I think even LaFleur said it, or there was an interview where he said the best thing that happened was Aaron Jones got hurt, and that allowed him a chance to kind of see what Jordan Love could do, and they turned it around.
To me,
so they balled out.
When I had came in, I don't remember what week it was, and I was telling y'all, look, I think that Jordan Love is about to turn the corner. It was Jordan Love and LaFleur were kind of going back and forth on the game plan. And there were a couple of big plays that LaFleur was like, hey, we're going to take this away. And Jordan Love was like, no, keep that in there. Like, I got it.
FIFO, you said it after the Dallas games when you said he was going to.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's go
back. Just how niggas didn't want to give me the credit that I picked the damn Texans. You know what I'm saying? And let's be honest, bro. Who is undefeated picking playoff games right now?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He picked the favorite, y'all.
I picked the favorite, bro.
My thing is like, keep it a bean.
Undefeated.
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 Yeah,
put the camera on me. Undefeated picking NFL playoffs.
So look, here's the thing. We're gonna get to the line. We're gonna get to the
FIFA 24/7 picks.
So let's close this out. Jordan Love was fine. He had a winnable game. It just didn't happen. Yeah. And Purdy looked shaky. He had erratic throws. He was throwing high. He was throwing left. He was throwing to everybody. Except, I think he threw 2 interceptions that weren't picked. The first one to Darnell Savage, that was like easy fucking money, bro.
That's why he played DB.
Yeah, he should have been out of there. Exactly. So I bring all that up to say, like, he did not look like the MVP that he was, earlier in the season, especially when Debo went out. And Debo's 50-50 into this next game, so it's not looking good for Debo to play.
Especially his history.
Nevertheless, he did answer one thing. We wanted to know. I know, Nick, you were lamenting about it. You kept talking about it. Can he come from behind and win a game? Can he do a comeback drive? He went 6 or 7 for 49 yards or whatever.
Biggest game in his life.
And biggest game in a playoff game when it matters the most.
And he had 11 rushing yards too.
And a big rush to get it within striking distance for CMC.
Right.
So a lot of us had that question about, can he, when the game is on the line and your team needs you to win, even the announcer was saying, can you drive your team down the field and win the game?
Cute.
So
all I want to know, all I want to say is that they're saying all this, and Kyle Shanahan is 1 for 36 or 37 when his quarterback went down.
And that was the other thing that was answered. So because you put that in the chat like it was a wrap, like this game was over. Then technically it should have been.
Yeah.
But did he answer your question, Nick? I mean, what your thoughts about the drive, man? 67, 49 yards.
I am not surprised. I'm not impressed nor surprised that Kyle Shanahan beat a 7 seed in the divisional round.
I'm talking about Brock Purdy, not Kyle Shanahan.
I don't address second niggas in command, nigga. I address them head first. Kyle Shanahan is the one that we give credit to, and if they win the Super Bowl, which I doubt they will, it's gonna be because of Kyle Shanahan, ain't gonna be because of Brock Purdy. So I'm not addressing Brock Purdy.
But you were the one talking about criticizing Brock Purdy the whole damn year.
Because y'all try to
see this man. See, that's what he does. He talk all this shit when he. What's the whisper your successes, scream your failures, or whatever this shit you saying.
No, because I've been saying the same thing over and over. I said I don't address Brock Purdy because he's not the one that I'm angry with.
Then don't criticize the motherfucker then, Nick.
I don't criticize, but I'm saying like we should never put him in conversation with other QBs that we had him in.
We just
like
put
the
him in
MVP
the conversation
discussion
of being a good enough quarterback to come back and win an important playoff game.
No. I put him in a conversation of Jordan Love choke like Kevin said, and that's why they won that fucking game.
But Brock Purdy had to take it. You know what I'm saying? And I think Shannon Sharp made a really good point either today or the other day before when Joe Montana threw the catch. You know what I'm saying, in the corner. He had an interception.
Joe Montana.
Huh?
Joe Montana and
Joe
Brock
Montana.
Purdy.
No, I'm not comparing.
I'm waiting for you to
two.
finish because I need to hear
I'm not comparing the two.
Okay, go
What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, that last drive that Brock Purdy had was great, right? Like you can't take that away. What you said, 5 out of 7?
6 or 7 for like 49 yards.
49 yards and one scramble.
And a scramble for 11.
For 11. At the end of the day, Joe Montana, before he threw that pass, had a couple of interceptions and a fumble. But he came through in the clutch. And again, I'm not elevating Brock Purdy to elite status or anything like that. But there was a lot of questions, Nick, because I'm with you, bro. Like I'm a believer that Brock Purdy is good enough to win games because of how great the team is around him. But at the end of the day, when you have to make a game-winning drive, when all the marbles are put on the table, can you get it? He did it. He answered that call. Now there's going to be another challenge. You know what I'm saying? Coming up against the Lions. And we're gonna see if the chips fall again like they did in that Green Bay game. Can you do it again?
Hey, Luke,
can you make the throws to win the game? Because Ken, what did I say when the 49ers played Kansas City in that Super Bowl? Jimmy G missed the one throw that he had to make to win the Super Bowl. The one throw. Yeah, you know what? Them Green Bay DBs ain't catch a fucking ball. You can't count that against Brock. Hey, it wasn't no interception. But when the chips was on the table, he cashed them in.
Hey, Luke, can I ask you a question? If I do one thing one time out of 37 times, are you betting money that I'm gonna do it again?
Never.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
But see, you talking very general. We're talking sports.
You talking about Shanahan,
Nick,
and the thing is, you talking about Shanahan. We talking about Brock Purdy.
You know, he's trying to be slick. Yeah. But hey, it was Brock Purdy the one that changed his misfortunes, though. he gotta love it. He gotta love the hell out of Brock Purdy from here on out, bro.
All I'm saying is that the reason why I come at Kyle Shanahan, because if y'all put y'all faith in Brock Purdy again, trust me, y'all gonna be disappointed, and I'm not falling for that no more because we fell for that with Jimmy G, and I would never do that shit again.
Understand? I'm not putting my faith in Brock Purdy. I want everything to be understood. But I'm going to have fun with Brock Purdy and this Glock Purdy thing. It's gonna happen.
My criticism is always gonna be at Kyle Shanahan. I can give a damn about Brock Purdy because we've seen this nigga before. His name was Jimmy G, so I don't. I'm not trusting him for nothing.
Spike,
yes,
bro.
Uh-oh. Hold up, King, you hear that? It sounds like Detroit Mafia in the motherfucker.
Man, your hate, bro, elite level hating, bro. Because I know good and damn well you know and felt that the Bucks probably shouldn't have beaten the Lions, but you remain vigilant.
Let's go, Baker.
And your hate, even when you were wrong. You know, them being one and done, not believing them, calling contenders frauds. I'm still seeing people saying that, even though they're in the NFC Championship game.
Dan Campbell's a rah-rah guy. All of it.
Yeah, I applaud you, man, for standing on business.
Absolutely. And I'm still standing on it this week.
All
right.
Tampa Bay was in that game.
Wait, I understand. Okay. But you had to go alone, bro. You had to fly solo.
I did.
Because the guy that was riding with you, this man right here, left you by yourself.
I know he was going to come
abandoned you by yourself.
I expected that from him.
He was talking shit about the Lions all season long, but when the playoffs came, he switched up on you, bro.
I never switched up.
Dan Campbell, a hell of a coach.
I never switched up. Never. I still agree with you, Spike.
You didn't pick.
The stars aligned. I just didn't pick them because I knew they were going to win. I mean, the stars aligned.
It wasn't really clear. It was a lot.
No, it wasn't clear at all.
Yeah,
the Rams could have easily beat them. They almost did. Mm-hmm. The Bucks were in that game and could have beat them. He did what he do best, bro. He did what he do best. Hey, man, you know he's a master at it, bro. He is a here's the
hedge
thing.
fund.
He's a hedge fund guy.
He wanted to make sure he protected
To
himself.
hedge, I didn't protect myself. I had to make a choice. I made a choice of what I figured was going to happen.
'Cause he
I
knew
never
that.
changed what I said.
I stood
Once again, I stand
stood
on what
on
I
it, bro.
say. You can stand on it
Good
if you're
job.
wrong, or you can say
Good
it's going to
job.
go the other way. But I'm still telling you it's that way. That ain't hedging. That's not hedging.
Ken,
You don't want to be
y'all
on the
don't
wrong
know what
side of
hedging
history.
is.
Go ahead, Q.
Hey, Ken, it's like that scene in Friday. He said, "You want some of this?" No.
That's what Shelby be like. No.
When the playoffs came, he was like, He was like, He said, I want none of this, bro. I'm picking the Lions. I'm picking the Lions to win the game.
Listen, the Lions played the Rams
Good
team.
fight,
I believe nothing in Matthew Stafford. Y'all know how I feel about him.
Rams should have beaten.
Yeah.
They should have, but once again, I didn't expect them to.
Yeah.
They should have, but I didn't expect them to. Same thing with Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield. I can't bet for either one of those guys. Why would I bet on either one of them?
Why would you bet with the Lions?
To Spike's credit,
Because of who they played.
to Spike's credit, Mike Evans, if he don't, bat that ball in the air, like
And
that game,
That
might
was
be
it.
That game might be really tight all the way down to like the last drive. But I want to go ahead and transition to our next guest. Trick, come on out. We're gonna talk about this.
I'm never going to Detroit. Don't get it twisted. Never catch me in the
Detroit looks good, man. Detroit looks like they have enough to really compete versus the 49ers. To me, it's a pick 'em because it just depends on did Brock Purdy or Jared Goff get enough sleep. That's just what the game going to come down to, man.
Yeah, and which defensive line is going to be able to get the most pressure? That's the
Exactly.
thing too. One of these lines is going to show up. It's either going to be Hutchinson or it's going to be your boy. What's his name?
Bosa.
Yeah, Bosa.
Y'all
One
really-
of the two is going to show up and show out.
Y'all really think the Lions can go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They have an opportunity.
No, Spike, like I said, I'm on your side. But when everything is
It don't sound like it.
no,
Shelton,
I'm telling you,
Shelton,
when
Let me
everything
be
is
very
lining
clear.
up your
Let me be
way,
very clear about the side that I'm on. The Lions don't got a shot to go to the Super Bowl. I'm
they
gonna say
do.
that.
They do. Everything line up in that way.
You know
Shelton-
what? They got a better shot than the Cowboys.
That's what I was about to say, FIFA. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. I was like, they got a better
Hey,
shot
that
than the
motherfucker
You know
couldn't
what?
get in.
You don't need to argue with Lou at all because he had the audacity to think that Dak was going to do anything for him.
I did not. I didn't think that.
Oh, my bad. Not Dak. The Cowboys in general.
Yeah.
You had the audacity to think the
The
Cowboys.
jury
would
was out on deck.
Look, let's be honest. By PFF, the Lions have the best O-line in football, and I think that what we saw the week prior, who did Lions play first before they played the
Rams.
Bucs?
The Rams.
We saw it against the Rams, and we also saw it against the Bucks. Them boys pushed. Jahmyr Gibbs did whatever the hell he wanted to do.
But like Nick said, they're missing at least two of their linemen.
It's
I
like
think, are out.
interior linemen, but I don't.
Yeah.
They still should be good to go because it's the biggest the game of their fucking career, so they should play.
They're gonna be
But,
biting some kneecaps.
But at the same time, if all I'm saying is that if Jared Goff has time to throw, we already know. I've been told y'all about the 49ers secondary. They cheeks. Look at Jordan Love. He cut him up. And so think about Jared Goff for
niggas
time.
fell down.
Yeah, and you know what?
In
Look,
the rain.
the
On top of
Lions'
that.
offense is a play action offense. So if that line does give them time, if that line is dominant,
49ers got the best two linebackers in football as a tandem. Greenlaw.
Tell Jordan Love
we
that.
understand it. So
Allegedly,
what's Green Bay's running back?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
So why Aaron Jones run for like $150 something?
Because Matt
on?
LaFleur is a hell of a play calling.
Man, fuck all that. When you have
y'all
the two-
asked me,
no,
I'm
no, but
telling
when you,
you.
no, but when you have the two best linebackers, you're supposed to mitigate all that.
Lou said
What do
it
you
like
mean? No. What you mean?
Not when it's a good scheme.
Fuck all
And I'm
that.
telling
man.
you, the Lions aren't going to come
you
in
know
here with a
what?
good
You
scheme.
know
Man,
what? All that scheme shit don't matter when you consider one of the best. You think that scheme shit matter with the Ray Lewis Ravens? You think scheme shit matter? You think Peyton Manning going to the line and doing all that shit matter? Ed Reed was on it. Ray Lewis was on it. Terrell
You
Suggs
literally
was
are
on
talking
it.
about the best defense ever.
But what I'm
Like,
but
literally,
you're talking
all I'm talking about
but
is
we're
the
talking about
linebackers.
arguably the two best linebackers in the game.
Right now,
two
yes.
out of the three.
Right now, but you're talking about a generational defense. Now, I say that to say all of that play action
It's
shit
kinda
and that
overrated.
sweet shit from the y'all talking about with the interior offensive line is gonna be different against the 49ers.
How is
And
it?
it's not in that
How
Why?
is it? How
Why?
is it? Because we just literally just saw last
Because
week.
the 49ers have a better football team. They have better
No,
players
no,
in the
no,
secondary.
no,
Yes, they
no,
just.
no,
I don't know
Nick,
why
Nick.
you're shitting on the 49ers secondary. Like, they got a better secondary than anybody that the Lions have
Ambry
faced in
Thomas
the playoffs.
was cheeks.
Who?
Man, he had three.
That second quarterback. That nigga had three PIs, bro.
Yeah.
He damn near lost him the game by himself.
Had them thinking Jordan Love was playing good.
Yeah, right.
Look,
and that was a hell of a scheme. that Matt LaFleur
it's
put together.
destined this year. Like I said, it's set for them to,
See, that's
to
when,
So you
go
picking
that's
the
through.
when I
Lions?
know. That's when I
You
know
picking
it's
the Lions
bullshit.
over
Niggas
the
start
Lions?
talking about his
Okay.
destiny.
I got
and all
it.
that.
We didn't send our picks in, did we?
I did.
We didn't have no picks this week. We want no
I
graphics.
sent picks.
Yeah.
We gonna pick them.
How you send picks the week they ain't asked for picks?
My thing,
I sent it.
Right. He the only one sent. Every other week you supposed to send them. You don't send them, but this week you sent them in.
I had time today. I had time today.
my thing is that Lou just found out Matt LaFleur can coach, and he'll talk about some Matt LaFleur's a hell of a coach. He top 30.
Nick,
no
how
lie-
did
no
he
lies
found
to be
out,
told.
Nick? How did he find out?
He found out. He found
Dan
out.
Quinn ass. How they kick Dan Quinn ass. That's how I found out. Shit.
Hey, he didn't even get to sit down in a good chair good before the game was
All I'm
Nah, I
saying-
was so mad because we was in here recording, and I got home in the second half. He was walking in. It was 27. I was like, oh my god.
Man, he made Stephon Gilmore look like one of the Gilmore girls. Nigga, that shit was crazy as fuck.
Stephon Gilmore look like he
Don't do that, man.
Stephon Gilmore aged 10 years in a
Y'all
week.
don't do that,
He
man. That's
did.
my dog. Now, don't do that.
That nigga old though.
Man.
My
Oh,
thing is
man.
that if Kyle Shanahan lose to Jared Goff, hey boy, if Kyle Shanahan's a part of his legacy is that he let the Detroit Lions go to their first Super Bowl.
Let me ask this: Is Dan Campbell a better head coach than Mike McCarthy?
No, man. Stop.
Nah.
You got to win a Super Bowl to say that.
Stop, man.
I wouldn't.
Stop
that's one of
doing.
the-
Don't do
that's one
that.
of the
Don't do
few
that, man. Dan
coaches-
Campbell
that's one
got
of the
great
few coaches
coordinators.
that I wouldn't take.
So now we're giving the credit to the coordinator.
Absolutely.
That's one of the few
Absolutely.
You
coaches.
just hating.
So what
Dan
is he
Campbell
doing
one
to
of the
make him
few
a great
coaches I
coach?
would
What
take
what
over.
adjustments is he making?
Who, Mike McCarthy?
No, we talking about Dan Campbell. Dan
Shelton
Campbell
hating.
turned this whole shit around.
No, we're not gonna give that man
Oh
all
my
his
God.
credit.
See,
Hey, look,
Turn it
hey,
around by hiring the right. He turned it around by hiring the right players.
The GM helped turn it around. They
Yeah,
got
of
a brand new
course.
owner that was running
Give
stuff.
credit
They
where
helped
credit's
him.
How much of the pie we
He
gave
bite
Dan?
kneecaps.
How
Dan
much-
Campbell was the product of just being in that environment.
It's
Come on.
people. It's so
Y'all
easy.
y'all niggas
Y'all
It's
hate
so
it.
easy
Y'all
to
niggas-
be a
You
head
seen
coach
how
and be a
bad he
rah-rah
was
guy.
against us, huh?
It's so
Y'all
easy to
niggas
be a head coach when you
hate
just
it.
got to be a rah-rah guy.
Let's
You
go
ain't got to
bite
make
them
no. He
kneecaps.
don't even know nothing about calling no nothing.
Oh, my
He just stand out there watching.
You
Oh, my
seen it when they
goodness.
played
Look, man.
us, and they went for 2-3 times when they should have kicked the fucking field goal and won the football.
Yeah, but you know what? They're further than your squad right now.
Yeah, I did.
And let's be
no
honest.
assistance from Dan Campbell.
But
Yeah,
look,
So-
yeah.
Like
In
Dan
spite of
Campbell.
Dan, in
They say,
spite
hey,
of Dan
Dan,
Campbell,
can you go
In
sit over there? We
spite
got
of-
in spite of Dan
Wow.
Campbell.
So,
Wow.
all right, so
Shout out to
Dan-
Ben Johnson. That's why Ben Johnson is the hottest assistant in football.
The Carolina Panthers would kill to have Dan Campbell.
They would
Hey, what you about
they
to say,
want Ben
Q?
Johnson. They want Ben Johnson. That's who they're trying to hire last year.
Because we talked
and that's
about
who
the
they trying
Panthers. I
to
don't know
hire
why
this year.
people even brought up the Panthers.
Because them niggas
Right.
trash.
They tried to hire Ben Johnson last year and this year. Ben Johnson is the number one assistant on the coaching list in
dude that
football.
just got
Y'all got,
And that's the
y'all
offensive
got a
coordinator.
quarterback issue. What are you about to say, Q?
I'm saying like Dan Campbell to me has proved that like he at least is a leader of men. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
like if
fine.
like but
Nick
the
come
thing
in
is,
here and
though-
shit on Mike Tomlin every week for being a leader of men, though.
and that's what I'm saying. Like
I mean,
maybe,
but there's a big difference between Dan Campbell and Mike Tomlin right now, my boy.
Yeah, we're right.
Hey,
You're
look,
right.
hey, look. I know that the date at the bottom of this video says it's 2023, but we in 2024, and Dan Campbell got these boys in the playoffs, man. And Mike McCarthy and Mike Tomlin, they to the mics, they not here. So Dan Campbell has proven that over the last like 24 months, they've been building good habits. He's been picking the right guys, or he's trusted the people who need to pick the right guys. And that says something
Bingo.
to, you know what I'm saying? That says something about humility, or at least the intelligence to know when you're not that intelligent. So
Hey.
sometimes you gotta just
Bingo.
deal with what's
Q-
in front of you.
From an X's and O's standpoint, I would rate him 32nd. in the
100%. You know he's not in those
NFL. In the
rooms
NFL, I would rate him 32nd.
leading any of those meetings.
He may be higher in leader of men category.
You think
I
he's
give
better
you
than
that.
like Chicago? I mean, not better than Chicago coaches and Ron Rivera. He's way better than those guys.
He better than Ron Rivera. I give you
He
that.
has great. He is a great motivator. He is that. But once again, you got assistants that's running those rooms. You got Ben Johnson, like I said, who's one of the top offensive minds as far as football is concerned, and you got Aaron Glenn controlling the defense.
Hold on.
So,
Hold on.
there
First
you
of
go.
all, I got two things. One, Q, you are hilarious for calling out the oversight on the date. I didn't even realize that.
I didn't even see that.
I didn't either.
Nobody's seen it till Q said it.
Yeah.
Look,
I
watched
thought
the
we were
whole
just
time.
honoring Michael Jordan or something twice.
And two, Sheldon, pump your brakes on the coordinators because that defensive coordinator, bro. Again, the secondary for the Lions ain't shit to go home about either. They got cooked by Baker Mayfield. Let's keep it a
Yep.
beam. So like, let's
We keep it. The
Brock
hating
Purdy-
goes too far.
Yeah, Brock Purdy. I
Aaron
wouldn't be
Glenn did a
surprised-
great job bringing him back around.
Brock Purdy, I wouldn't be surprised, has a good throwing game on this secondary because they both secondaries cheeks. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be if both teams can pass protect, this is going to be a 30-35 game.
30-35 who?
I pick the Lions.
I think it comes down to who do you trust to win ugly. You know what I mean? To me, that's what both of these both of these championship games come down to is who do you trust to win ugly? And, because both teams, if everything goes right, you know what I'm saying, on both sides, AFC, NFC, everything goes right and everyone's game plan goes accordingly. I think we all trust the Chiefs and the 49ers to win if everything goes perfect for both teams. But if we're talking about who has to win ugly, that's where it comes down to scheme, context, clutch factor, and then I think it factors in the Lions and the Chiefs, and that's what I'm gonna pick. I'm just give y'all my.
That's your Super Bowl pick.
Yep, easily.
I got Lions Ravens.
Before I get into that, there was a moment that's been criticized by Todd Bowles where the Lions kneeled early and he didn't call a timeout to force them to kick it. And he just was like, shit.
You got to know when it's over.
He said you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
No one to
Bro,
walk
that's
it.
crazy. I'm never giving up a chance to miraculously win a game, though. Honestly, not me. So, but I know I was here because I didn't watch the first 3 quarters. I think I caught like the last 10 minutes of that game, and Jalen and I were in here watching it, and when they went up 14. And it was like 4th and 15, and there was a pick play that happened that Mike Evans got open, and then they scored. Because I told Jada, I was like, Mike Evans got to make a play. You're a playmaker, bro. This on you. Like you and Baker got to do something. They scored. I was like, damn. Like it looked like they were going to be in it. And they had a shot, man. They had a shot, but very similar to Jordan Love. When I was walking back here, I was like, so what's Baker going to do? Throw an interception or fumble the ball? And I'll be down the next play, he threw an interception. I don't know how in the hell he did not see that goddamn blue-ass jersey.
Man.
That was
Right.
He followed him the whole route.
Right. I'm like, what the hell are you looking at, bro?
Such a
Baker was like,
get paid?
Baker knew he was like, my check already about to clear. Fuck it. I give it.
Yeah,
Does
they
Baker
ain't got nowhere
get
else to
paid
go.
next year?
They gotta give him like a sub Danny Dimes deal, man. They gotta give him like a
They go 3 year
1-2.
3-year
Yeah.
150.
The
3-year
going
150.
rate is 60. Next year, the going
No,
rate is 60.
he's getting
So
a
you
3-year
start from there.
150. He's getting a 3-year
Damn.
150.
$50 million
Wow.
a year for Baker Mayfield?
2 years guaranteed.
Can they franchise him?
Nah, they
They can.
can't.
They can.
I
mean,
wouldn't.
that's what they would probably do. Then. I mean, they did the same. Kirk
I would say
Cousins
they-
was way better than Baker Mayfield.
I would
was
say they
in
were
Washington.
they were franchised Mike Evans before they because they could get Baker on a contract. Mike Evans is the one that's like
Mike Evans. You might want to trade him for some draft capital or trade him for beef up your defense more because he didn't. I'm not saying he's not a great player.
I would only do that if I knew I had a QB that I trusted to go get somebody else. But right now, Mike Evans, like what Baker was working with was like upper echelon talent to overcompensate his lack of. So because he can just throw the fucking ball up there, and Mike Evans more like he gonna catch it.
To me,
said
Todd
they
Bowles
can't
is a crash test dummy. You know what I mean? I always make the joke that man, these black QBs, they like Tupac in Vegas, man. They in like the last picture, man, in that BMW. Like that's what they got them they set them up every time. Adrian Griffin, black coaches, that's how we do each other, man. We pocket in the BMW. It's crazy. And that's where I feel as though you have to look at the organizational insight. If they are looking in the next 3 years to retool Tampa Bay, then you probably do trade Mike Evans in the next, couple months to try to get some draft capital. And then maybe, the next season after that, you try to get up in the draft and get a top 3 guy or top 5 guy. But that just depends on what they want to do.
I think somebody gonna fall to him.
The reason why I asked, does Baker get paid? Because is Baker still, I'll be writing niggas off early. Is Baker still in the league next year? And I think it's a legitimate question only because of the price that you got to pay him versus the production that you get. Like Nick just said, he has elite outside talent in Tampa Bay. What other team is devoid of a quarterback that has those type of weapons that's willing to pay him?
Well, he's going to get a job no matter what. He's proven
Yeah.
that he belongs in the league. And it's just a matter of what team wants to pay him, and he's going to be there
To be a bridge quarterback.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so-
it. That's going to be his role for the rest of his career.
So you think like Seattle's willing to give him that type of money?
I was about to say that
New York.
Baker
Who?
is
New York who?
New York about to
Giants.
draft. They about to draft
How
the
they
QB.
paying Danny Dimes?
Yeah, and they about to draft the QB.
What you think they're going to draft one this year?
Yeah, they got the 6th pick. Somebody's gonna fall to New York.
Baker is
they had the Italian
Baker
scout.
is where Geno Smith was before he had that really great year with Seattle, in my opinion. I think that he just needs to find his Pete Carroll, who's going to unlock him, man. Not unlock like this talent that's like all world or nothing. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that because Geno's not all
but
world
serviceable.
either. Yeah, but it's like find the guy who's like, bro, you make these 5 reads, you make these 3 reads, you make these 4 reads, and don't do nothing else. The defense, lean on defense,
So Q, but the reason why I asked that is because look, Gino got what was it like 20 mil a year, 15 mil a year, something like that.
It's like 17.
We're talking 50 for Baker. So again, who's gonna leverage 2 years of $100 million for Baker Mayfield? Because those teams are somewhat in a rebuild, and it's better to have a cheap quarterback with Baker-like talent and then just stack the roster.
Gino got 3 years, $75 million.
So that's 25 a year, right? Yep. So at 25 for Baker, I'm cool with that.
But Gino,
But at
Gino ain't win
50?
Gino ain't win no playoff games, nor did he win the
I feel
division.
that.
You know what I'm saying? He won the division and won a playoff game.
But it's
and was-
arguably the weakest division
and-
too.
Yeah,
So
but
context.
either
Baker
way,
has 2 playoff wins, bro.
either way.
So that
I'm just talking about for this.
for 90.
He got to get one. He's gonna get $100 million.
I mean,
He'll
3
take
years
years for 90.
3 years for 90 is, 3
years
years
for
for
90,
90,
that's $30
like
million a
10
year.
years ago, you know what I mean? Like 10 years ago, man, everything is about inflation and like the value of the dollar at that time. So 3 for 90 is like, you know what I'm saying, 3 for 50, like a couple years ago. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing now.
And I'm also thinking about the division, like you said, FIFO. It's gonna be shitty again next year. So you're more than likely gonna have the best team, and you have playoff experience on top of that. Because y'all know y'all can beat somebody. Y'all beat the Eagles. Y'all beat a roster that was way better than y'all, supposedly.
I mean, Tennessee can use them. Tennessee to take them right now.
Nah, fuck that. I'll stick.
They got
with
Will
Tennessee.
Levis.
Got Will Levis.
Um,
I could see Minnesota taking him because they don't want to resign Cousins because Cousins is
I don't
going to
believe in
Mayfield.
Will Levis.
Nah, Minnesota.
Oh, that's fine, but they
Minnesota's
still
gonna
got
draft.
him, so
They're
they
gonna
still got to
draft
ride him out for at least the next 2 years, whether he turns into a guy or not, because they drafted him. But I mean, shit, you probably Will Levis, Baker Mayfield, they might be the same guy. I think the thing is, if you're Tampa Bay, you didn't bring Baker Mayfield in to win you playoff games. He messed up the whole damn plan. They was like they can't even get draft picks. They drafted low. So what do they do now?
And that's why I asked, like, what is the market for Baker? Because if you're talking Tennessee, we know what Baker is. I don't know what Will Levis is. I don't know what he can be. Like the end of like
If you got a new coach though, you're not bringing in Baker Mayfield. You going with your young guy.
that's why I'm asking, what's the market?
So I
Like,
would
what's the
ask-
money?
I think my question would be this: it's more on Tampa Bay because, as I mentioned, and I just thought about this, Kirk Cousins is going to be a free agent too. So if you're Tampa Bay and you look at it,
He coming off of ACL though, bro, and he 30
But that
something.
nigga don't run.
And they're the
He
same
a
guy.
pocket quarterback.
That
So-
might mean shit. He was
Kirk
shitty
Cousins
before
might
the
be a little-
injury.
Kirk Cousins might be a little more talented than Baker Mayfield.
I agree.
Way more,
So
way
if
more.
I can get this far with Baker, why wouldn't I?
What's
just
their
pay
playoff record say?
Cousins.
I mean, but one thing Baker Mayfield can say is like, bro, I beat the NFC champions. So
Yeah.
That's a
was-
true
and-
Eagles fan. That sounds like a true Eagles fan.
I mean,
saying that.
I sound like an agent, man. Like
That's what I'm saying.
If I'm an agent, I'm sitting at the table. I'm like, this nigga just beat the NFC champion. Like,
And
people
he
like,
won you the division when no one thought y'all would win the division.
Yeah, you know
The
what I'm saying.
Raiders might take Baker.
So we got you guys as Super Bowl or basically Super Bowl picks, the winner of this week's weekend's games. FIFO, who you got?
Both squads. We're going both squads, or we're going one and the other.
Let's go Ravens Chiefs.
Give me the Chiefs, man. I'm not picking against Patty, bro. I'm just,
Come on.
look. I learned my lesson with Tom Brady. I'm like, man, fuck Tom Brady, this, that, and the third, and this motherfucker always won. I saw it once. I'm convinced Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, is a better talent than Tom Brady. He's done more in a shorter amount of time than Tom Brady. I'm not picking against Patrick. I don't give a fuck I could be the wide receiver out there, Ken. I'm picking Patrick Mahomes, bro.
Ken, FIFA just admitted that he submits the group thing. So let's move on. Talk about somebody. I bet against Brady, and everybody said he was gonna win. So fuck it. Everybody think Patty gonna win.
I bet against Brady, and Brady proved to me time and time again he won. No matter what I thought. So I saw it once. I'm not picking against that elite level talent again. I'm picking Patrick Mahomes, ride or die.
He eventually started picking Brady. But go ahead. Oh, you got
I said it all along, bro.
You funny.
These some hard games, man. God, dog.
You can't be on the fence now, my nigga. You gotta make a pick.
This is the most on the fence I've ever been. And there's no lie.
Watch how this goes.
Man, it's tough. But give me my betting self. Let me see what my betting self gonna say, because I have not thought about it much. I was just excited to watch the games. Give me Lamar. Lamar has more to prove.
Well, I'm going Ravens. You know, I picked them to get to the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. I guess
You're the only one that got a Super Bowl pick left, Ken. Out of everybody.
I know. It's great. Yeah, I got both ready.
You got both of them.
Yeah, both. So yeah,
I got one left too.
Who you picking? Cowboys?
I picked Cowboys. Ravens to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
in the beginning.
So who you pick?
But
that eliminates your pick then.
Now, that being said, I'm with FIFO, man. I'm not picking against Patrick Mahomes, bro.
man.
I gotta see Lamar.
Then how the hell you
Why
pick the Ravens to start the season?
Why did you pick the Ravens to be in the Super Bowl if you think they wasn't gonna face Patty?
Nah, I just picked them. But now that we're here,
This is your guy.
now that we here,
You listen to him when it comes to pick. Come on, man.
now
That's
that
your
we
definition of
here,
head for me. I don't know
now
how
that
you
we
gonna
here,
call me
like
a
I
head
said, and I've heard y'all hating on Patty all season.
Yeah.
I gotta go with him.
Nah, you hedgering James with that one, my boy.
I took a page out of show.
That was my book. Cause
I'm going KC, man. I'm not picking against Patrick Mahomes.
Lou, you're a
in the
goofball.
playoffs.
You're a legit goofball.
and then when the Ravens win, he's gonna be. I told y'all.
I'm standing on mine. I'm picking KC.
When KC,
No, you did not stand on yours.
good.
You did not stand on yours at all, bro.
It looked good in the beginning of the
stand
season.
on business.
Yeah. I'm picking KC, man. Give me Pat.
And the business was Bitcoin. That shit was terrible.
It was NFT.
All right, well, we on you, bro. Who you got, Niners or Lions?
Man, I got the Lions, man. Of course.
Oh, you on me? I thought you was talking to Q.
Oh, well, they already said theirs.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, y'all had Lions. You had Q. Just for the record, you had the Lions, Niners.
Lions and Chiefs.
49.
Okay, Lions and Chiefs, and Nick.
I got the Lions and Ravens.
I got 49ers. I ain't even no suspense with me. 49ers Chiefs.
Oh, here we go.
Niners. I mean, I gotta stand on what I picked. I ain't gonna do like you. These are my guys. I picked them. I picked them for a reason. So, Niners. And Purdy's word got me a little worried though. And no Debo too, but hey.
Give me the Lions. I hate both these teams, but I want the Lions to win more than I want the Niners to win.
I picked 49ers at the beginning of the year, so I'm going to stick with them.
All right. Well, there we have it.
And the people watching and listening, man, stick with your boy, man. I'm undefeated in these playoff picks, man. Undefeated.
He literally picks the fucking favorites.
So the Texans were the favorites. Texans was the favorites. Green Bay was the favorites.
You talking about you pick the Texans when they face Cleveland, the shittiest organization in the fucking league.
I picked the
But they
Texans
weren't the
too,
favorites.
FIFO though.
They were the higher seed.
But they weren't the favorites by Vegas.
All right, let me get through
neither was
these.
Green Bay.
Let me get through these super chats. But I didn't know you were undefeated though. That's
Undefeated. I ain't picked not
that's
one wrong.
we gotta check the state. We gotta check it.
Tell Jalen to send the picks in, man. We want to see.
Hey,
we
look.
want.
It's about rig the election, bro.
I'll let you see what I sent to you.
All right, Stephen A. Spliff. How soon will we see Kobe and Wilt score records be broken with how the league is becoming more offensively oriented and nobody playing defense?
2030.
Joel went for 70 last night, and Cat
MVP.
went for 62 and an L.
MVP, man. You know, the next 7 years, I think somebody's gonna get up to 80 because if Joel's doing that as a center, then it's like, come on, man.
2030.
Yeah, you got to get high. I think a person who could probably do it. Ant is maybe one that I could see.
There's one. Donovan Mitchell. He had 71. Chill out. Don't do that.
Donovan Mitchell still in the league. Man, that's crazy.
I hate y'all.
No, I can see Luka getting because Luka has a lot of free throws.
Hey, you in the chat? I want to talk to the chat for a second. Loser Stench, who had the best record in the league in the bets? Don't I mean on the picks? Don't play me. I'm gonna get right.
Wemby definitely. Wemby could do it once he
Get right.
Wemby once he get his bag together.
Yeah, he could do that.
I gotta go fix the smoke alarm, guys. I'm
Where
just
your money?
trying to get out of this before I have to climb up this ladder.
Can I
to
take
do
that
it.
back? I picked the Rams over Detroit, so I got one loss.
Nah.
I got one
I told you, bro, Trump, bro.
got one loss.
He tried
Still
to.
got the highest percentage though.
He called Jalen looking for some votes.
He was undefeated regular season, undefeated.
All I need is about 1,385 votes. Just find them
One
somewhere.
loss.
Just find them somewhere.
One
Jay.
loss fee. One loss fee. That's it. That's what they call me. One loss fee.
Oh man,
Never lose.
it's-
Q is 3 for 3 today.
Sean McDermott needs to be blackballed and sent to prison for that Disney Channel Make-A-Wish fake punt with DeMar Hamlin.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, man. That shit was terrible. They thought it was fucking Any Given Sunday or some shit. That was the worst shit I've ever seen in my life.
My
And he
thing
should be
was-
fired for
My
that.
thing is, it was 4th and 5. It wasn't like even 4th and 3 or 4th and 2. Like that play could have worked on that, but like you asking for a whole half of a down. Like you know what I'm saying? Like throw the ball if you want to go for it on 4th. You got
Like,
Josh
them
Allen.
Best offensive players in football was Josh
Yeah.
Allen. Like, we'll
I'm
get-
know,
sure
you
Hamlin
see-
was terrified.
You seen them videos of when like World War II veterans come back to like they teams and they get like
Coach
an
ain't able to
honorary
do it,
like
coach.
run. That's how that shit was like, man. It's terrible.
Oh shit! Hamlin was like, "What, bruh?"
run the ball.
he
Against
probably just fell down.
They probably told him they was shooting a commercial.
I need all the props. I called the Bucks coach firing when Dame arrived, and also NBA been trash.
Thank you, Tracy G. We always love your honest takes and support because we are.
Yes.
I asked FIFA a question. He couldn't even answer the last time. I told him, like, what's exciting about the NBA? He was like, "That's parody." Fuck out of here.
It's still 5 more months of the NBA season. That's
It is
insane.
parody, and then we just saw, arguably one of the best big men ever to score fucking.
And you see how
I'm gonna
Manny,
say
you see how Manny reacted in the chat. What do he say? Joel Embiid is what? Cameroon, James Harden.
And we weren't talking about April. We weren't talking. Manny just show up to hate. I don't know if you ever noticed that. Manny only shows up to hate, and then he out.
Hey, kid, Manny,
James Harden is crazy.
Manny is the Leroy of the chat.
Peyton, Brady equal Lamar, Patty. Never should have been Allen.
I agree.
Y'all moving a little too. Man, Lamar just started playing again this year.
I don't. Think
That's why his ass hasn't been in the conversation.
Lamar's done it more in his career than Josh Allen.
I don't think we had there. To me, there is no Peyton yet. Like, I think people are forcing it.
Right.
The closest Peyton we got is Joe Burrow.
You're right.
I mean,
Q, you're
shit.
right. There is none. Not yet. Lamar has the best shot, though.
Top of the evening, everyone. The KC Chiefs wide receivers had the highest drop pass rate since the 0-16 Browns. Patty got them to an AFC Championship game. Insane.
And that's supposed to give you encouragement in the AFC Championship game they got to play this weekend.
All
Ray-
Ray,
Patty
man,
is.
all Ray J needed was one wish. All Patty and Andy Reid needed is 1 week, my nigga. It's just all.
That's it.
I just think it's
Get the
dope.
ball to Pacheco. If Pacheco is on fire, then
1 week.
you got your shot.
I'm gonna let you know that about Roquan Smith and Pat Queen gonna fucking. Pacheco ain't doing shit this upcoming game.
Y'all gonna keep
We'll
cashing
see.
these checks for this Ravens
But
defense,
Gibson
man.
is?
All right, until Pat Mahomes is running down the field with a 45-yard run, y'all like, yeah, shit gonna be crazy, man.
You know what I'm saying? Ever since Roquan Swift got with the Ravens, they had a top defense. That's the thing. People forget about that.
Didn't you pick with your picks over under? Pat was gonna throw more than a certain amount of throws.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Damn.
What about that?
Damn, FIFO.
People just like to say. He just like to bring up random shit.
Yeah, that's what I said. Everything was leaning towards him winning that game, but they leaned on the running game this game. So I was wrong on that.
You are fake news. That shit is
Gambling is not 100% accuracy. If you 100% on gambling, then you the best.
Damn, bro. Like, what the 5 figures say to the face? Out of nowhere, bro.
Hey, people, what I did.
The Doc Rivers Conference Semifinals Masterclass Episode 10 might be the best one yet. Rob Costa, if Chet wins Rookie of the Year, I'm calling racism. I'm with you, bro.
Absolutely not. There's no way for him to win it.
Oh, I thought that's what you're saying.
Why
Okay.
you gotta
Yeah.
say that? His team better.
Man, Wemby averaging like 20 something a
10.
game. He's like 18.
Wemby's doing some crazy numbers right now.
Yeah, Wemby's numbers are much better than Chet. Chet's number 2.
Yeah, I
Chet
don't
ain't even the
disagree.
best. Yeah, Chet ain't even. That's Shay's team.
It is Shay's team, but but Chet, let's be honest, is number 2, 100%.
Yeah, he hooping.
He's 100% hooping.
Here we go, Ken. This is what I was
I
telling you
know,
about.
bro.
This is what I was telling you
Jesus
about. Let
Christ.
FIFO go though.
He's 100% hooping. And let's be honest, the difference between wins and losses with OKC is Chet, not Shay. Shay did this last year, but they didn't win games.
Nah, I think it's more
Okay.
the other guys stepping up. It's much. Now, Chet is helping. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
but you got to understand, Jalen Williams is stepping up.
100%. I'm not taking those things away because those are young guys. You know what I'm saying? And you know what my theory is, 3 to 5. But like I've always said, another one of my theories is a point guard needs a big man to be great. A point guard needs a big man to be great, and that is
Chet's a big
what's
man.
happening.
I'm sorry. Is that what we thought big?
Is Chet not
He's a-
top
he's
3
a
in blocks in the
modern
NBA?
big, yeah.
Is
He's a
Chet not
modern
top 3 in
big.
blocks in the NBA?
He's
Does
a
Chet
modern
not play
big.
4 or 5?
I saw him go. I saw him go.
They
again.
won
Did he get
tonight.
dunked on by Wemby or
Everybody get dunked on.
They
Everybody
won.
get-
They
it's the
won
NBA.
tonight,
Everybody
and
get dunked on.
Chet had 8 points. He had 8 points and 10 rebounds,
That's
which
cool.
is decent.
Yeah.
But you look at, well, like I said, Jalen Williams had 19, and Shai Giddey's had
The rookie of the
33.
year, and I already said this at the beginning of the year. No, Wemby, 100%.
No, Wemby,
Yeah, we what Wemby is doing, we have not seen.
But what
This
I want-
nigga is different.
But I want y'all to realize what FIFO is saying is that propaganda shit is going to be the reason why they trade Shea and they build a
No,
team.
that's your take.
They-
That's
they-
your take.
Because
man.
FIFO
They're
was
not.
over
Why are
here-
they gonna trade Shea,
FIFO
bro?
was over
You've
here
been
already.
on that shit all year. Why are they gonna do that?
because of the shit that you already saying, like they already are having good, like they didn't do. You already diss Shea in your response of trying to praise Chet. You said Shea was doing all these numbers and they wasn't winning. Now Chet doing good. Now they winning. So of course they go and then Shelton already came up with the other part as far as like.
But they don't
other
win
players-
without Shea,
other,
though.
Other players.
They
are
don't
already-
win without Shea.
Other players.
Shea
are
took his
improving.
game to a whole nother level this year, though. Also,
I understand
Shea-
that. I understand
yeah.
that. But Shay's development is
Let me
it's
ask you
way
something,
quicker
Nick.
than the rest of the team.
Let-
He had
let- let-
33 and
Nick,
10
Let me
tonight.
ask you something because I know this is right around the time you were born, so you may or not remember, but niggas do have YouTube and Google. When Shaq was drafted to Orlando, they went from one of the worst teams to one of the best teams, right?
You be using these grand
Joe
comparisons.
Montana.
You can't
Hold on,
use
hold on.
Shaq and
Listen,
Shaq and
listen.
Chet ain't the
Listen,
same.
I'm
They
not
was-
saying that they're the same.
They was
But
41. They was 41 and 41 Shaq first year.
Shaq first year, right? They went 500, but they won like 10 games the year before. What happened when Penny got there?
You
Point guard. No, listen, what I'm saying.
You
Listen,
still
I'm
gotta
not,
get
I'm
close
not
to
comparing
comparisons,
apples
bro.
to apples. What I'm saying is this is all fruit. I'm just saying this is fruit. I'm not saying this is apples and this is apples. But what I'm saying is from a basketball chemistry perspective, A big man is great. A point guard is great.
You done use Joe Montana and Shaq.
When you put them together, you get W's.
Joe Montana and Shaq for Brock
W's.
Purdy and Chet.
You get W's.
All I'm saying is
saying.
that if we can stomach the fact that Doc Rivers got hired to coach the Bucks team in the championship, then what I'm saying about how they go possibly trade, I think they definitely go trade Shea Gilgeous and build around Chet.
You have no foundation on that statement, bro.
What you gonna say, Q?
I think a more apt comparison would be like when they brought in Dame, when they had LaMarcus Aldridge. They had a solid team. They had solid players around them. But Dame,
point guard, big man.
I mean, I'm just to appease Sheldon because I get people in the chat and whatnot. I get what you say. Me and you here on NBA, but it's like, yeah, they brought in Dame. LaMarcus Aldridge was already good, but they weren't really that great. But you bring in a point guard to help. And now you see Shea in MVP conversations. If Joel Embiid doesn't exist, then it's only between Jokic and Shea for the MVP right now. Mm-hmm. And I think some people would say that Jokic is third behind Shea and Joel right now. So there's no basis to trade him right now, man. Unless Shea takes this gargantuan leap. Where he's like the top 4 player in the NBA, it's like, no, man, you don't need to do anything.
But even still, why would you trade a top 4 guy when you got a whole bunch of young guys that's balling too? It don't make no sense.
He's too ahead of schedule.
What the fuck is you talking about?
They're number 1 in the Western Conference. They ain't trading nobody.
Thank you. Thank you.
They're number 1 in the Western Conference.
You are literally
with the number 1 player
dart and seeing if it hits the wall, bro.
Nobody's going nowhere.
I'm gonna say this. We were all shocked when DeMar DeRozan got traded too from his team, right?
And it ain't because of shit.
DeMar DeRozan was nowhere near this. Look, man, it's more like it's really more like the same. It's really the exact same conference too. You have Karl Anthony Towns. The team is terrible. Bring in Ant Edwards, and now you're a top 2 team in the West. You would never trade Ant. You might trade Cat before. They might trade Chet before they trade Shea if they can get another piece.
Of course,
Thank you.
I'm saying OKC look at Shea like Cat, and they look at
no, they don't. All right, man. He dragging y'all.
I got 3 more. Bills traded the 10th overall pick to the Chiefs in 2017. The Chiefs selected Mahomes, who eliminated Buffalo from the playoffs 3 times. Fucking hilarious. That was somebody put that in the chat.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's crazy. I started going through the draft classes. 2017 had some players, bro.
It did.
I don't know if y'all ever looked at it.
One quick question to the room. If Josh Allen is on the 49ers, where do we put him in just conversation?
You must have seen some of the same stuff I said, because they talking about the 49ers would be undefeated with Josh Allen.
I mean,
they may not be. They may not be.
Josh, I mean, yeah, they would be.
Why?
They would have the best skill position room probably in the history. With Josh Allen,
he turns the ball over. He doesn't manage the game like Brock Purdy though.
It ain't just Josh Allen though. If they had Lamar Jackson, they'd be undefeated.
It's different. He doesn't turn the ball over like Josh.
If they had Justin Fields, they'd be undefeated.
Well,
they would be
I don't want to talk about
Bears.
Lamar. I don't want to talk about Lamar Jackson because I think Lamar fits on a lot of teams. He brings a lot of people up.
Yeah,
I think Josh Allen is a little bit of like a victim of his market, and he's a victim of the fact that, like we talk about identity and all that shit, right? But you put him on the 49ers, everyone keeps talking about in the chat, on Twitter, and all of this shit. Yo, he's MVP every year. I don't know if that's necessarily a case, but I think he's in contention, you know what I mean, for like a Super Bowl every year, but he's doing that in Buffalo. So what really changes beyond like
He
gaudy
would win the
stats?
Super Bowl.
That's what I said.
Exactly.
It would win. It would be wins instead of contention.
Well, it depends though. Would he trust the team around him to do what they do? Yes. Like Josh Allen. How can you say that?
Because the guy.
Why would we say he wouldn't?
Right.
I don't know that. That's what
Then
I'm saying.
why would you bring it up?
We don't know. I bring it up because that's my question. My question to you is, how do you know he's going to trust him to do
it's a hypothetical about nothing we don't really know about. We're talking about the player and the fit.
So
and
what
the
I'm
coaching.
saying is the player and the fit we can't say because he's used to carrying the load. If you go to a team where you got weapons all around you, you're not going to get the ball to the right place.
Shit. Leadership in the locker room.
There you go.
These
he would turn the ball over
these
like he do now,
intangibles.
and it would be a different
Let's go
team.
to what we know,
He
bro.
turned the ball. What I know is that he turns the ball
All right.
over, and it's a different team.
There we go.
There you go.
Used to carrying the load was crazy.
I was about to say.
No, it'd be the same thing. It'd be the same thing if not worse.
Would the 49ers not have a completely different dynamic on offense with Josh Allen under center? Like, can we not agree that Josh Allen has a top 3 arm in the league? Can we not say that Josh Allen is a top 3, top 5 running quarterback in the league? Brock Purdy is neither one of those things, and they're the number 1 seed in the NFC. So if you add those dimensions to what they already have, how the fuck do you guard that?
Yeah, it would be insane.
There's a caveat that the NFC is cheeks. By the way,
okay, but at the end of the day, all things saying how you guard that.
All right, no one remember Jimmy outplayed Patty in the Super Bowl for 3.5 quarters. Yes, it's true. They just remember the end. Keep the same energy for Purdy.
We're talking about the Super Bowl. We're not talking about the second round of the fucking playoffs against a first year starting QB. That comment don't mean shit to me.
Damn, Leonza.
Look,
at the end of the day, we do this for Super Bowls. We don't do this for just random beating Jordan Love in a shootout that no one thought they were supposed to win by 10 plus. Come on, give it a fucking.
We leave that shit for all the the Dan Quinns of the world. You know what I'm saying?
and that 49ers defense was crazy, which is why Jimmy G outplayed Pat Mahomes for 3.5 quarters. But at the end of the day, it's all quarterbacking. Can you have a great game for the whole game and dominate? Of course you can. But it's all about wins and losses, right? Ain't that how you feel about it, Nick? It's about wins and losses. And it's about what did you do to win the game? And Pat Mahomes, when it comes to them clutch situations, hey, I can have a shitty game all game, but if we're in position where all we need is a drive, we're gonna win the game. Was that not how Tom Brady was? That motherfucker, bro, he ain't throw for a $120 all game. And in the last 2 goddamn drives, he gonna get what we need a field goal. We gonna get a field goal. We need a touchdown. We gonna get a touchdown. That is what you're graded. That's clutch. Pat Mahomes is clutch. And look, that's why did I not give Purdy his props for that last drive? I said he was trash all game, but Purdy did what he got to do to win the game. At the end of the day, can the quarterbacks do what they got to do to win the game?
All right, Ravens versus 49ers is my Super Bowl pick, but would love to see the Lions there. Ravens was my Super Bowl pick to win. Shout to Q for their impressions, dying laughing.
Hey, Q had the best impressions I've ever heard.
3 for 3.
And the last one, Dub 9 Eli. Chiefs are number 2 in defense, only allowing an average of 7 points allowed in the second half. Everyone keeps mentioning the players on the Ravens defense, but underestimating the Chiefs defense.
You know why? Because the Ravens have names. You know what I'm saying? They got names. Obviously, Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen has been a very solid
Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton is a fucking Pro Bowl safety year 2. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they have names. Outside of Chris Jones and L'Jarius Sneed is now elevated himself to one of the best corners in the league. Who else is out there?
The linebacker, that's
as a name.
Maybe Gay.
What's his name?
Yeah.
No. The other one too.
Bolton. Nick Bolton. I think it's Bolton.
Nick Bolton. Yeah, Bolton. But outside of that, it's like we don't know because them niggas was all fucking rookies last year, and now they're one of the best defenses. So they just don't have the name yet. But if they win the Super Bowl this year, they will make a name for themselves.
Hey Sheldon, don't these like Chiefs remind you of like the '85 Bears, like the way that they just like, the way they just. I'm fucking with you, people. I'm fucking with you, bro. I'm fucking.
All right, man. Appreciate you guys coming on, man. We had a great show, as I figured we would with everybody showing up. But yeah, that alarm going off says it's time to get out of here. But yeah, I enjoyed it. So next Tuesday we will have Super Bowl teams. So yeah, should be interesting, man. But yeah, tune in. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button, the subscribe button. And the game is Sunday. So yeah, I'll definitely be hopping on, recapping the games and what we saw for that evening. And
hey, Lou, damn, bro, football season almost over. We're going to start talking basketball, bro. It hurts. Talk about these 70-point games for them.
Lou season be over by this point anyway. Every year, so he used to.
We got 6 more months of talking about nothing basketball.
I heard you, Q.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, y'all. Well, we out. Peace.
Peace.